The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stunner! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Big Sports Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. This program begins now. Sports are happening all around us. We're incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about them every single day. We hope you are enjoying the hell out of your summer. This is actually a pretty monumental day in humans' existence. This July 2nd, 2025, not only because we're 2 days before another birthday for the United States of America. Happy birthday to America. But also because this officially marks a very pivotal point in our existence. Let's go to one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, AP Tone, who is certainly going to nail this.
Yep, July 2nd, 2025 is exactly 9,131 days away from the start of the year 2000. It's also 9,131 days away from the start of the year 2050. This is the halfway point between 2000 and 2050.
And that means tomorrow, guess what? We're on the backside 2050. Okay, we are closer to living in that world than we were in the Y2K era. So look around. Life is good. We're living.
Bingo.
And we're getting old quick, all of us.
Yeah.
But it's a lot better than the alternative. Okay?
True.
You're either growing another day or you're going down in the dirt. So let's make sure we enjoy the hell out of that. And thank you for that stat.
Sure.
Tom presented that to the class about 35 seconds before we went live.
Wonderful.
And said, you think you'll be able to nail that whenever we start? He did. Tony, that may be the best stuff you've done in a long time.
Well done, Tony. That's a compliment.
A lot of numbers, yeah. What, 2000, 2050, 9,131, July 2nd, 2025. I mean, there's a lot of
I was
things.
an accounting major, so.
Were you really?
Yes.
Pretty good with numbers.
You're lying.
Let's go to the toxic table. That's why he's always so interested in all the conversations. You know, we had 401k conversation the other day. Can I sublease that into a at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt? Ty, baseball is right around the corner from one of its biggest moments, All-Star Week happening. There's some storylines brewing around baseball. I don't know if you know this. Pittsburgh Pirates are the team.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this, Ty Schmidt?
I have heard about this. Listen, Tony's been saying it, and a lot of people were probably just thinking, well, this guy's a Pirates fan. This is all tongue-in-cheek. There is no question about it. Since the Pirates have hired Don Kelly to be their new skipper, they have been playing salty ball. They're 25 and 24. So, again, you know, nothing crazy, but you're starting to kind of see the pieces. This is the team we talked about before baseball season started when, Pat, you asked, like, hey, could this team make the playoffs this year? Their pitching's great. They can do enough to maybe get there. We're kind of starting to see the bones of that come into place. The only problem, obviously, is that, one, they don't give Paul Skeens any run support ever, no matter what.
They had historic numbers with the wood.
Yes.
And then Paul plays. We can't hit a ball.
Take this one off.
Everybody's too mesmerized by Paul Skeens. Now, I think the reason why that stat's good to put alongside the fact that they're playing great baseball is they can still get so much better.
Yes.
Like the Pirates can still get so much better, and there's so much season left. So what I'm excited about is Pittsburgh Pirates maybe going crazy. Around baseball, though, a lot of great storylines developing. A lot of teams kind of coming into, like, I think their own, I would say, in the baseball world as if we kept track of this. And then there's the big city teams over there in New York. They just suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, the Mets.
Start spreading the news. They lose every day. You're a big part of it.
I know.
Ty Schmidt They suck at baseball in New York. What's going on? All the money spent over there. I thought you guys were supposed to be the baseball gods over there.
The Mets certainly are not doing great right now. I believe I said this last week. The Yankees do this every single year. It's called the June swoon for whatever reason. They get up like 10 games in the
We got
division.
nicknames for it.
Yeah, and then they just stop playing. They just, hey, whatever. We can go up to Canada and we can lose 4 games in a row up there. That's fine. So they'll continue to do that. The big thing now is we're close to the trade deadline. So we'll see which of these teams are really deciding they want to be movers and shakers. So again, like you said, it's still very early. I think within like the first couple weeks post All-Star game, post Home Run Derby, that's when we'll start getting a clearer picture of like, okay, these teams are really going for it, and these teams are kind of going to just fade into the oblivion.
Just before we got off baseball, I saw it this morning. The Marlins have won 8 straight as a dog. So that's just something that's happened out there.
Hot bats down there in Florida.
8 straight as a dog is great for the gamblers, great for the Miami Marlins. That nobody shows up for.
Hey, and maybe they got inspiration from the Florida Panthers. Maybe they decided to get hot because the ice was on fire, obviously, for the Florida Panthers the last 2 years, as absolute dynastic runs happened down there in South Florida in hockey. Joining us today will be Bill Zito, the general manager of the Florida Panthers. He'll join us at 1:40 Eastern time to chit-chat about the team being the same team till 2030. Yeah, this team is just going to be – this is our life.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
running it back.
Welcome to it. We now have 5 more years of what is dynastic hockey being played by a very dominant team in Sunrise, Florida, down there in South Florida. The Elbow Room knows that they're going to have to maybe buy out the buildings next to. We need to start spreading the news. Florida's going to remain hockey town. Congrats to the Panthers. I can't wait to talk to Bill Zito. We'll have Lane Johnson on in the second hour. He has his 8th annual O-Line Mastermind Summit taking place down there in Texas. A bunch of offensive linemen get together and talk about blocking other dudes. That's what they do. A lot of big bodies, a lot of meat down there.
Bigger down there.
We'll talk to Lane Johnson. Can't wait to chit-chat and congratulate him on another Super Bowl. And then in the first hour here in about 25 minutes, we'll have Sauce Gardner joining us. Obviously, the New York Jets. Cannot wait to chit-chat with him about the new era over there and how he feels. He's entering the 4th year of his rookie contract. They did pick up his 5th-year option, so he has 2 years left on his contract. Some of his draft mates have gotten paid in a big way at his position. I don't think that's been a very big talking point for Sauce. If it was to be a big talking point, I think Sauce in the New York market would have done that. Seemingly just shows up to work, does his thing, and he's also now partnered with Q Collar, these things we started seeing guys wear. Sauce was wearing one last year. They wear it around the neck. Allegedly, it puts a little pressure on something, and it relieves something, and then it makes your brain be not move as applying light pressure. Here we go to jugular veins, causes a slight increase in blood volume inside the skull, reducing the risk of brain injury because your brain doesn't move as much. Okay, so basically, they're like, let's go ahead and pull a little bit more blood in your head. For me, I would rather be the tomato red that I normally am. It'd be a little deeper red, I think, is what it's doing.
Sure.
But allegedly, it's 25 peer-reviewed scientific studies, I guess, have said, like, yes, this does help or whatever. Maybe this is one of the answers for the future. Sauce liked it so much he actually teamed up with them. So we'll talk to him about that and everything happening in their world. And then in 8 minutes, we'll have a British fellow on. His name's Nigel. He'll come on and talk about Wimbledon that's happening.
Sure.
And then, obviously, if we're having a British guy on, we need to tell him that the United States of America is going to win the World Cup.
Yes, correct.
Easily.
Speaking of cups, Kathy Engelbert's cup was on the line last night.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Indiana Pacers taking on the Lynx of Minnesota. Commissioner's Cup title. And the Indiana Fever are the Commissioner's Cup champions.
No, wow.
Hang the banner, do the parade, do your dance. Now, Caitlin wasn't able to play, but obviously she was a massive part of the build-up to get to the finals of the Commissioner's Cup. And that team really showed up, dominating Dub last night in the Commissioner's Cup. They celebrated afterwards in a locker room, doing dances, drinking, getting after it. Felt like we learned a lot about the team in the live feeds. Seemed like a tight bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seemed like a very tight bunch. Now, Sophie obviously pissed off Detroit and Cleveland with some of her remarks. But if you listen to the full thing, it wasn't, I think she definitely said something negative in those lights. But it was, I think that got taken a little bit out of context.
Sure.
With that being said. But she doesn't care either. She will walk into Detroit and be like, what? That is, she's a heel.
Yeah.
That is literally what Sophie is. So I appreciate that. Bad news out of the Commissioner's Cup, though.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here. What a stud. You look amazing. D-Butch, somebody that we admire immensely. Somebody that we respect and appreciate immensely had a moment last night that we all thought would be possible, but never hoped for it to come. There's been a lady who's been on top of a unicycle, flipping bowls onto the top of her head for the last 20 years, seemingly. We're talking about one of the longest heaters of all time. This lady would show up at an event on this super duper unicycle, 15 feet, 20 feet, whatever it is in the air. She'd be on top, just riding the unicycle at that height. Absurd. On wood, okay, absolutely insane thing. Look at this. Look at the balance. Holy shit, she's gonna go around the court? Yeah, unbelievable. Would be better than most halftime performances, okay, if it was to happen. Then she would stack a bowl or two on her foot on top of the unicycle. And then she would kick that thing, touch, power, effort, muscle memory, everything. Boom. Up on to where? Her fucking head. She would catch it on her goddamn.
Boom.
That's from when she visited us for a draft spectacular. And the reason why I had her on the draft spectacular is because when I was going to Pacers games back whenever I was a rookie here in Indianapolis, Indiana, every time she would come on, it was unbelievable. This was one of the most amazing things. She was an America's Got Talent that was like, I don't want to say super duper, whatever the case. She was on, she never missed. This lady was one of the most impressive athletes, one of the most impressive performers, one of the most impressive just things in our existence that I'd ever seen. So whenever I got the opportunity to throw bowls to her, be a part of her act, I let her know that too. I let her know like, hey, Miss Red Panda, thank you for what you do. She's an athlete, okay? That is a performance. That is an athletic move. She has to have power, balance, touch, everything, and also mental fortitude and focus to be able to pull this off. So like we are big fans of Red Panda. Gotten to know her personally. So when I saw what happened last night at that Fever Leagues Commissioner's Cup,
I don't watch this. I can't watch this.
I would advise you not to watch.
Oh, God.
Man.
She's used to going Dahn from that unicycle. We saw it at the Thunderdome whenever she jumped off, and it's a way up there.
It is.
I mean, you're talking about you're up on top of a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
You're coming all the way
Top
down.
of the rope,
Yeah, I mean, it is, you're really coming down there. So she's used to falling like that. This one, obviously not expected. They're saying she hurt her wrist. She obviously left. I would assume the entire arena was like, no, not Red Panda, we can't have this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different conversations happening. We reached out to Red Panda to get an update on her injury. They said they will keep us updated whenever they have one. So T's and P's for Red Panda.
Yeah.
And this is with no shit involved at all. One of the greatest performers ever in the history of anything. How hard that would be.
Yeah.
And then to do it every single night, it's like impressive shit. And the world was her state. She was surrounded completely.
Yeah.
I'm a big Red Panda fan. We're not saying she's retired. We're not saying anything happened. But we're saying, I think last night, a lot of us got worried that a big Red Panda fan was like, never seen that. Never seen that out of Red Panda.
You assume a big time injury late in her career, and you've been a part of her show. The first time I saw her live and that close was right here, 4th annual draft spectacular. And look, it takes a lot to get my jaw to drop. Pause. Why? Like I've practiced. I play with Tom Brady, Randy Moss, T.Y. Hilton, Reggie Wayne, Steve Smith. So I've seen some special shit. Her performance here, that was one of the most spectacular performances I've seen, and I hope she does come back stronger. I think she will. She'll be back in front of crowds, performing sooner. What do you mean you hope?
No, she will.
This is the GOAT.
Hey, she started in 1993.
The GOAT.
Yeah, she is the GOAT. 1993.
That's crazy.
Long time.
That's how long she's been doing this. And it's like the reason why it's such a big deal, like over the last 5 years, maybe she'll miss a bowl. Like once every 6 months.
Nobody bats 1,000.
And maybe she did though. That's what I'm saying though. For like 15 years, 20 years, she batted 1,000. I have no idea how she was as consistent as she was. And her music, as soon as her music's in the back, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
Oh
you're
my
getting.
gosh! Hey, Red Panda, I hope you felt the love from everybody whenever we found out you were potentially injured. Nobody likes that.
It's incredible. It sucks. It truly reminded me of when Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles. It was one of those gut-wrenching moments, and you kind of wonder, is this it? I know you guys are staying positive, and I love Red Panda just like everybody else. I just worry about expectations going forward. I think we got to look at this like 2011 Lakers, okay? Hey, still the Lakers. still a Lake Show, still have all those banners. But after an Achilles tear, something like this, it affects people. And, again, it's her wrist, which is great. It's not a
That might be the
ankle.
best injury for Red Panda to have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's huge that she didn't,
What?
I mean, I was initially thinking that, but like she's tossing, she's got to be able to handle the bowl still. Listen, I think she's going to be just fine. But I just want to make sure, she is a little bit older now. I want to make sure she takes the rehab seriously. We don't need her.
She will. She's on top of a unicycle.
Red
at
Panda
20.
doesn't age.
You never know.
You don't think she's attention to detail driven?
I do, but we're satin sheets. We're talking about the maybe the greatest performer in the history of the. I mean, she's never had an injury like this. It'd be very easy for her to wake up and be like, "Listen, I'm the GOAT." Like, this hurts a little bit today. I'm gonna take the day off.
To be clear, if Red Panda wakes up, looks in a mirror, which I think she should, and for a long time she should be doing this, says, "I'm the GOAT. I'm going to enjoy my life now."
My banners are hanging.
I'd get it.
All the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I would congratulate the hell out of her.
No doubt about it. That's why I think me and Ty are worried about that rehab, because we see quarterbacks all the time. Hey, hurt shoulder, he'll be fine. Okay, Derek Carr. What happened to Derek?
You put her in the same bucket as Derek Carr?
No. But that's
She
what
broke her
happened.
wrist in 2013. This has happened before.
Okay.
Is what we are learning from our research.
And that is huge news. But again, I think it goes back to more so 2013 is 12 years ago. That's like after Kobe wins his second title. Is she going to try and go and win 3 in a row after she has 18 titles?
2013 definitely closer to 2000 than 2015.
Bingo.
Definitely.
And she probably is the one that released that stat, because I'm assuming she knows everything about the future, and that's how she catches those balls.
What we're saying, Red Panda, is we love you.
Love you.
We love you, Red Panda.
Got Wolverine blood.
Good luck out there.
You got this. You should call Tyrese.
And Tatum.
Yeah,
Tatum,
all get
Tyrese,
together.
Red Panda, all coming doing
3
rehab
of the
together.
goats.
Let's pivot away from the great. I mean,
I know it's almost
Unbelievable.
hard to.
This is how it felt when Houdini died.
I wasn't there.
Houdini didn't die.
Houdini did.
We don't know, I guess. I
talking about?
think it happened in front of people, but nonetheless, joining us now is a British man. And I think people call us idiots all the time, as you should, as you should.
After that conversation?
But I think we try our best to get people that are actually knowledgeable of things to come on and explain it to us what we should care about. Now, I think we do ask pretty good questions to get to the bottom of it, but we do try to bring experts in. This guy's an expert, not only on England, but on gambling, on events that are happening in England. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, big title, Director of Content at Betting Weekly, over the pond over there. Game, bet, match.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nigel Seeley.
Much for that very, very, very warm welcome. Thank you very much. Good long time no speak, Pat. How you doing, mate?
I'm great, and I forgot how great that accent is until this moment right now. You sound spectacular. Let's get right into it here. Wimbledon's obviously happening. You have captivated not only your part of the world, but ours as well. ESPN broadcasting it all over the place. Next week, we're actually off because it's covering everything. It feels like the early story of this entire tourney is that a lot of favorites are losing. This is kind of the set? 4 out of the top 9 in the men, 3 out of the top 9 in the women's. It feels like, is that more parity, or is it just the big stage getting people, Nigel?
Well, there's a few reasons for it, Pat, to be fair. The first thing is obviously that when we look at the stats, 14 of the men's seeds have gone in round 1. 32 seeds, 14 of them disappeared. In the women's draw, 12 seeds have gone out of 32 as well. So there's some big, big names gone. Let me just put it into some kind of context. If you went back through the last 10 years and you had $10 on every single player, in every single underdog in round 1, you would be losing $1,500 if you bet $10 on every single player in the last 10 years who was the underdog. In first round last week, this week, and on Monday and Tuesday, you would have won $320. So this is the first time ever by gambling on the underdogs you would have made money. So this is a strange period of time. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. The first thing, I mean, not by American standards, but the weather in the UK has been extremely warm. Very, very hot conditions. And the players are coming in here and they're underestimating the weather. The heat here is a very, very different kind of, it's very like a New York heat. It's very humid. It's very, very hot. It's sticky. It's extremely hot. So the first 2 games, the weather played a huge toll on it. And a lot of players come into this stage of the season when you would think they'd be fit. You'd think they'd be really at the, you've played professional sports. This time of the mid-season, you'd think you'll be fit. But a lot of the tennis players are not fit at this thing. They're playing an awful lot of tennis. They have to play from a transition from a clay court in Paris only a month ago to a grass court in Wimbledon, which is very, very different. They then have to go straight away to America to play the hard court season in the build-up to the Open. And it puts a lot of pressure on them. But the prize money for these players to come to Wimbledon is so big that even if you come here and you're not fit and you can participate in round 1, you're still going to pick up a check for round 1 loser of $80,000. So you're going to turn up. You're going to turn up if you're not fit. You're going to turn up. You're going to play. If you feel good after set number 2, you're going to compete. And if you don't feel great, you're still going to pick up an $80,000 check by turning up. So the incentive for the players to turn up here and play is a big thing, and the money gets them here. If it was any other tournament, they wouldn't play. But for the prestige of Wimbledon, the prize money of a major, they will all be here and they will all participate. The other thing you've got to say, just one quick thing before we leave this side of it, is that the gulf between the guys in the top 20 and the top 100 isn't as big as it was years ago. The guys in the top 100, the guys in the top 80 can beat guys ranked 16. They can beat guys round 20. The problem with tennis, from a competitive nature, is that the top 2 in the men's game in particular are so far ahead of everyone. Sinner and Alcaraz are just dominant. And we've seen so much in sport where the domination of players has sort of made it not the most interesting thing to watch. And after the era of Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, we thought we might have an open era. But these 2 have come on and just playing different levels. Their stats are as good as those great players, and they're so much better. So the guys below them, they're coming into this sort of not fit, they're underestimating the weather, and there is prize money at stake. So, if someone said to me, I've got 80,000 check to turn up, play 1 set, I'll be there.
Yeah, and in American terms, I know you all are turning up while watching. I believe a couple years ago you were in there with the First Lady of Heineken, I believe, or Mama Heineken. Also the lady from Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Hannah Waddingham.
Hannah Waddingham, who gets biscuits every single morning, by the way. And that, I think the Queen obviously goes to Wimbledon. It's a big deal. You get $80,000 to lose in the first round. I just learned that. You just talked about Alcaraz and Sinner there. Who's going to win this? Is that who it's going to be? Because Joker, right, if he wins it, he'd be the oldest guy to win Wimbledon ever or something like that. And to be clear, we were watching that Super Duper Cup, which Tone is going to ask you about here in a matter of moments after we get through Wimbledon. And was it a British team that had their players sitting in the locker room when it was 87 degrees? You guys are hilarious. I think that's hilarious. I just want to let you know that. That is a funny thing. Like in European standards, it's hot. It's like I think you guys deal with the cold a lot better because there's a lot of that weather. But like what you guys view as we're going through like 102. It was 105 degrees here in Indiana, let alone South Florida, Louisiana, New York. It's like that is an interesting thing over there in Europe about the heat and how that kind of affects people.
I think the thing is with England, the difference with America, I'm very fortunate to go to America many times. You have things called air conditioning. Air conditioning in this country, we don't have air conditioning. Because the way the British version thinks itself, we're only going to have one hot day in 5 years. What's the point of investing in
That's
air
bloody
conditioning?
mad, isn't it? That's bloody fucking mad, ain't it?
Yeah. Last night was the worst night I've ever slept. I had to sleep on the couch downstairs because we've got no fan, no air conditioning. And my wife said today, should we go and buy an air conditioner? What's the point of that? We're not going to use it for 5 years.
That's crazy.
Okay, I just learned a lot.
I get it.
Shout out to you guys. Like, we kind of got an Amish group over here that kind of does the same, but you guys, obviously, internet and everything. Think about the air conditioning. It's a great invention.
It's awesome.
It's a great invention. You guys should think about, okay, let's move forward now. Who's going to win this thing in the men and who's going to win in the women?
Well, I think if you look at the men's draw, Carlos Alcaraz has been given a very, very favourable draw. And everything is about the bracket in this tournament. You've got an easy bracket. Alcaraz come through a really, really tough match against Fabio Fognini in round 1. But again, it takes time to transition from a clay court to a grass court. He's a slow starter traditionally. Last year when he won Wimbledon, he got better as the tournament went on. You would expect a legend of the game or a player who's at the top of his game like Alcaraz on a winning one to have a bad day at the office. That was all it was, a bad day at the office. He's playing a young British guy now. He's 2 sets to love up. He's going to beat him. This is a big stage for the young British guy. He's not going to compete. The draw is opened up. I cannot see Carlos Alcaraz not getting to the semi-finals, where hopefully he will play the American number one Taylor Fritz, who come through a bit of a tough match last night against Mpechi Perigard, the biggest server in the men's game. On the flip side of that, the other half of the draw, the other bracket, is very, very tough. You have Novak Djokovic in there, you have Yannick Sinner in there, you have the British number one, Jack Draper, who is a contender this week. You know, I'm not saying that because I'm a Brit, but he is a contender. So the draw has been favourable to Carlos Alcaraz, and I think that the draw will open up for him. I believe that he will, you know, he's played a 5-set match, he's had his bad day. I think he's going to get better and better as the tournament goes on. John McEnroe famously said, you want to just play your best tennis as you go through the tournament. You have a bad day in the first week, go on and go forward. And I think Carlos Alcaraz will be the man to beat. 3 times on the trot. Yannick Sinner will be his finalist. I think I can't see anything other than the top 2 playing, and I think they'll compete. On the women's side, it's much more competitive. You have literally about 20 players who can win the women's draw. Arina Sabalenka is the number 1 seed, but she's been the beaten finalist in the last 2 majors in Australia and in France, at Paris. Coco Gauff, the French Open champion, is gone. You have Von Drusova, a former Wimbledon champion, who's coming into some kind of form. But American women have won the 2 majors this year. Madison Keys won in Australia.
Hell yeah.
You had Coco Gauff winning French, and it's good for American women's tennis at the moment.
Hell yeah.
And I've actually bet 2 American players, actually, to go quite deep at big prices. I think Madison Keys is probably the biggest serving woman in the tournament. Grass will suit her game. She has quite a difficult bracket, but the fact that she's won the Australian Open and she's won a major gives her huge confidence going in that she can compete and she can beat the best players. I think she's got a great chance. And if you're looking for a dangerous outsider, there's a hard-hitting American who's around about 20 in the world, a girl called Amanda Anisimova. Now, she has had problems off the court with her mental health. She's had issues with injuries. But on her day, she is a proven player. She's coming to this tournament in some great grass court form. She's got a favourable draw. And I think the 2 American girls will give you a run for your money. I'm fading the favourite. Sabalenka, I'm not quite sure. I think she's more about her sort of lifestyle off the court rather than on the court. But I think you want hungry players. And at Wimbledon, the last 8 years, 8 different people have won it, and there's always been a shock. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a shock winner. Not like the men's. The men's dominated by the favourites.
I love you saying a little comfortable. I think we're a little bit too comfortable at the top, especially for Wimbledon with how hot it is and everything you're going to have to go through. Miss Amanda, I didn't hear the last name because your accent obviously so heavy. I couldn't hear what you said. But
it's Anisimova. Anisimova.
And Amanda Samova.
Anisimova, yes.
One name, Anna Samova.
Anna Samova?
Yeah.
Amanda Samova?
Amanda Anisimova.
Amanda Anisimova. That's a tough one with the British accent.
Double A.
Amanda Anisimova. Okay, good luck, Amanda. Good luck, Madison Keys. Obviously, we're pulling for you to win this thing. Okay, let's pivot away from Wimbledon real quick. We have a British person on. What should we ask about? Soccer.
Yep.
Tone's question for you, Nigel.
Yeah, Nigel, I was wanting to see if you had a favorite or a club that you liked the most in the FIFA Club World Cup moving forward.
Well, I mean, the first thing is I think the Brazilian teams have done exceptionally well in this tournament. I mean, they've surprised everybody. They've got huge support, especially down in Miami, massive amount of support. The conditions, you know, we're talking about hot conditions. There's air conditioning there, so it's different. It's different here. I honestly think that Paris Saint-Germain will win it. They're the favourites. They're the best team in Europe. They're a very young side. They're getting better every round they play. They're the European champions. They dismantled Inter Milan in the final, plus 225. Chelsea would be a fade for me at $4. I think the British teams or the English sides here, I don't think they'll go. They want to win it for the prize money, but I think this cup competition is going to have huge ramifications when the season comes, because I think a lot of these teams are going to be spent. So the angle for me was when they come back from here in the early parts of their regular season, I think they're a fade. So, but I think Paris Saint-Germain will justify favouritism and win the tournament. The one thing I heard Pat say there is that the American team could win the World Cup, but they've got to do better than the 2-2 draw against Costa Rica. They've got to do better than the 2-1 win against Haiti.
We won that game.
The win against Saudi.
We beat Costa Rica. We beat Costa Rica. Freeze, by the way.
Penalties, wasn't it? PK.
There was no extra time. If we would have had golden goal time, we would have won it. And then instead they went straight to penalties because, once again, we don't understand what's going on with the Gold Cup. Saudi Arabia's in it as well. I mean, there's a lot of conversations, and we have a lot of questions. This guy stopped 3 out of 6 penalties, brother. We dominated in that thing. What are you talking about? This is our team. Punch talking shit.
You went to penalties against Costa Rica.
Where's no overtime? There was no overtime.
What happened
It went
last
straight
time?
to penalties. It was good for soccer. Of course you hate it. But just you need to know this. It's never coming home. Okay? It's staying home when the World Cup is here.
You very kindly sent me, last time I was on, you very kindly, and all your team sent me a bottle of champagne. And I said, I'll drink it when it's coming home. I think you said that we're almost near 2050. I think there's more chance of me 87 having a glass of that before then.
We are 9,131 days from the year 2050. And whenever that champagne ages another one of those amount of days, it's going to be great.
So good.
It's going to be great. All right. There is also another celebration
Anniversary
coming around here at the end of the week. And I know it's synonymous, but happy 4th of July. That's I don't know.
259 years since we beat your ass, Nigel.
So many friends of mine across the pond. I wish them all the very best. Have a great holiday with your family and friends. And thank you as always. I love coming on your show. Really appreciate you having me on. Have a great holiday, lads.
That's why America won.
We love
baby.
you, brother.
That's why
We love you, Nigel. We
Right
fucking
there.
love you. All right, we appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Nigel, see you later.
Hey, Nigel.
How many years?
259, baby. 260 next year. I mean, that's a big one. That's a big anniversary.
It's a long time.
Got to appreciate that. He had the U.S. Open hat on, too. He knows.
Well, it's 4th of July. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they must.
What do they call us? Colonies? No, they call us something, though. Some of the British people.
Stinky Yank.
Stupid
Yank? Yeah.
I mean, I've been called a stupid Yank everywhere, yeah, for sure. There's something else that I think they say.
All I know is they're just going to be saying to themselves on Friday, like, damn.
We let a good one go.
We did it again.
We lost a good one.
Yeah, they throw a bunch of tea in Boston on
I think
Friday.
they should call us saviors twice.
Okay, I mean, that's certainly a part of the conversation as well. They were with us, though. You got to remember that.
What happened the last time England was in penalties, by the way, in a big international tournament?
I don't know. Gumpy, can you tell us what England did?
No idea.
Grazie.
Italy. That was the Super Duper Euros, or wasn't it?
That was
Euros. Yeah, that's right.
That was the Super Duper Euro tournament.
Oh, yeah, Euros, yeah, penalties, yeah, blew it. That's what we do. England just gets as far as they can and lose in the final.
Yeah, well, I wonder if England knows this, but Ponch and the boys are coming.
Yeah.
And they're bringing hell with them.
Yes, we are.
I don't like that Nigel just he didn't even think about giving USA a chance.
Yeah, he laughed. You beat Costa Rica, tied to Costa Rica. You have to do better than that. It's like, we beat Costa Rica.
Yeah.
We got to win.
So soccer guys don't respect PK wins?
Nah,
not against Costa Rica.
Not against Costa Rica. But last time the English laughed at America, I think, was 1776. And then what happened?
You tell me.
And then what happened? Who won that, huh? Nigel, you asshat. Can't understand that guy, man.
No, it is hard to understand what he's saying.
There's guys chewing on rocks. I got no idea who's winning Wimbledon because I didn't pick up one thing from that interview.
It's the favorites on the men's side and maybe
Madison Keys or and Amanda Anisimova.
Okay, maybe. I don't know.
That's what he said, though.
We can't confirm. I don't think anyone can confirm that.
He said
Game, set, bet, brother.
There was a
game bet
match. What are you doing? Jeez, what are you doing ruining an entire thing? You're Canadian with ties to England. You should not be talking. That's Betting Weekly. Game, bet, match.
Oh, I misheard it. That's on me.
No, it's like game, set, match.
Exactly.
Oh, like a tennis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we had
Game,
him on.
set, bet might be better.
He was talking about tennis there?
All right.
I got something better for him. Dental floss. Okay? It's real simple.
Nick, we know that England doesn't have two things. AC, toothpaste, and dental floss.
I love England. I've been there multiple times. It is it's a beautiful place. Stayed on a golf course one time for our game in London. Then obviously stayed downtown whenever we had the WWE event over there. It's like I've got a chance to enjoy all of England seemingly out in the land and then in there. Not all of it, but you get it. The people are hilarious. And I think Nigel would take that as a sign of respect, what you just said about him.
Yeah, but people in England just need to stop using freaking mustard for Listerine. Like you don't need to do that. You can use
That is
normal stuff.
that is not an accurate depiction, I don't think.
I think
in
they do that in
2025.
England.
How about the no air conditioning over there? That's a wild.
That's crazy.
Insane. And they have the window locks. This actually just went. Did you see also some of the buildings they have have these locks on them, so you can only open the windows like this much in your house.
So it's just dead air in there.
So it's so hot.
There was back in the day, they taxed some places. Like I know Ireland, when I was over there, they got taxed on their window size. They had to pay for their windows size. So some of these places, some of the buildings had like small little windows. And then you think if they get a heat wave through there, I mean, that's just
nightmare.
So hey, we appreciate you all over here.
No wonder they're sucking down so many ice cold pints.
Yeah, neat. But it's not ice cold, remember?
No, it's really actually like lukewarm. But what they're sitting in, it might as well be the Arctic.
Let's pivot away from England and let's go to an all-pro Pro Bowler. A man who's making good business moves. I like what he's doing with this Q collar. And he's a guy who's entering the 4th year, which is technically the final year of his rookie contract, but they picked up his 5th-year option as well for the New York Jets. Everything we thought he was going to be coming out of college at Cincinnati, he has certainly ended up being. Absolute stud, superstar for the New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, Sauce Gardner.
Yeah,
What's up, dude?
Oh, good shit.
What's going on? How y'all doing? I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Thank you for joining us. We're big fans of yours. Obviously, we followed your college career. You're an absolute dog. And everything you've done with New York, obviously team success will hopefully come for you guys. But the way you've played on the field as an individual has been sweet to watch. Can we talk about this Q collar? Because I love that you're making business moves. First of all, you had the Buffalo Wild Wings deal. I assume you've had other deals. This one feels like a brilliant move because it could be what the future is looking for in football. You wore this and you felt different. Like, what was your experience with it, and why did you decide that you wanted to spread the word about this for more football players?
So I remember I was at practice and I seen my teammate Braylon Allen. He was running out to practice, and I seen something on his neck, and I'm like, "Yo, what's that?" Because I like different. I like being different, So I asked him about it, and he told me about the science of it and things like that. So I got to doing my own research about it, and I was able to see how it helps in terms of head-to-head collisions and stuff like that. And football can be a physical sport. It is a physical sport, and the most important part of your body is your brain. So I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna wear this tomorrow," and I had one on Amazon to order it to get to the facility the next day. And the Q collar team ended up bringing me one that same day, and I just ended up rocking with it. And I just remember me being able to feel so confident in the game, and then after the games being able to feel good after. And I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna wear these every day at practice. I'm gonna wear these. I'm gonna wear this every day and every game." And then it just became a necessity for me, and my everyday routine in terms of practicing and especially in games.
Are you gonna get one iced out or what?
So they've been making different sleeves for me, and they did do an iced out one, not with actual diamonds, but it looks pretty. It looks pretty iced out though. You know what I'm saying? So I might wear that week 1.
Not often do you hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not often are you able to add accessories to a look. That looked cool. I think we noticed it last year because it looked cool on people. Now, obviously, you used to have the cowboy collar, used to have the little bit of a bump back there. But that thing looked cool. And then as we learned about it, we assumed it was bullshit. By the way, we assumed that it was absolute bullshit. And then I read from the Q collar folks on the website and everything, they've had 25 different peer-reviewed scientific research testing done on this. They're saying there is actual benefits to it and everything, and the science is real. Good for you getting involved, and hopefully this is something that helps the next generation.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think it's going to help the next generation, so that's why I'm excited to be partnered and, involved with the Q Collar brand, so I'm looking forward to me wearing it and other people that's in the league right now wearing it, and especially I'm looking forward to college players wearing it, because I think it's very beneficial.
Yeah, especially, they're trying to do the Guardian caps, obviously in practice to take away the things. It's this would be a much easier thing to do. Plus 7-on-7. You can, feels like a lot of different places. Good luck with all of it. Shout out to Satoshi Nakamoto. That's Bitcoin? That's Bitcoin on your chest, your shirt?
Oh, I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what this is. My stylist had got it for me, and he said this in. I think it's Satoshi. So it's a popular brand. Everybody really wearing it, especially in the fashion.
Everybody.
In the fashion world.
It's at Dips too. It's at Dips, and it's really going up, going to the moon. That's awesome. You see the shirt. That shirt is Sweet. Let me go ahead and put that thing on. You look awesome. All right, let's talk about football a little bit here. Obviously, there's a new regime in New York. What has been your early thoughts on AG as the head coach? Obviously, he and Aaron had a quick conversation in and out. He has a vision for what he wants his team to be. What is your thoughts on Coach Glenn, and what are your thoughts on where the Jets are right now?
Man, I'm impressed. I've always heard a lot of great things about him, when he was in Detroit. So I'm like, yo, this is who I want to be the next head coach here. And obviously, I love defensive-minded head coaches, but the thing that sets him apart is, like, he knows so much about offense as well, and so much about special teams. And him just as a person, he want to get the best out of you. Like, when I asked him, Coach Wilkes, like, what they want out of me, it's like they want me to have this standard that I already have and keep it there, like, week in and week out. And it's like, that's perfection. That's basically what they're telling me is they want me to be perfect. And that's what I want. I always want to be perfect. Even though there's no such thing as perfect people, I want to be perfect. And, like, that's what I need. I've had a lot of early success in the league, and, I never want to get complacent. So, Mr. Johnson bringing the new regime in, and that's going to push me even more than – I don't know if nobody can push me more than I push myself, but – for them to come in here and just, like, also push me and have this new standard that I haven't even reached, like, for me, it's just a blessing for sure.
Well, and having to feel like you have to reprove yourself to people is always a good thing too, for super competitive people like yourself. Like, that is, you got a whole new audience now, and these people are your coaches. I think that can be reinvigorating. And you're still on your rookie contract, and you went into last season, I think, as PFF's number one corner in the entire NFL. I think on everybody's board, your top 5 corner in the entire league, no matter who is asked. And you're only going into year 4. So much more on the horizon, especially with AG. D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, Pat just mentioned still in your rookie deal. Big fan of your game, first and foremost. Number one, what has this offseason been like preparing for this 4th year? And it's a big contract year. I don't think you've made much noise about it, but your draft mate got paid, Stingley Jr., he broke the bank. Ramsey just got a bump. Sertan got paid. J.C. Horn got paid. Like, you're on deck. So what's your thoughts going into this big contract year?
Man, I'm not going to lie. Like, this offseason has been, like, by far my best offseason. I've been, like, I just left LA from training with my trainer Akil, and, like, I feel great. I'm sitting about 200 pounds right now, and I don't think I've ever really played that heavy, but it's like the more weight that I done put on, the more muscle, like the more explosive and the faster I've become, But yeah, my team and the Jets, they've been talking. And, we have, like, our goals in terms of, like, the contract and things like that. It's been pretty productive. But, yeah, we have our goals in terms of, like, numbers and stuff like that. And, the Jets are aware of that. And I'm aware of, like, the rest of my peers, like JC, Stingley, even Pat had got paid, obviously, before me. But those are all guys that is well deserving of the money that they got. So, it's definitely something that my team and the Jets are talking about.
Vayner Media too. Obviously, we're big fans of the Vayner family. Excited to see he might own the Jets someday. Is Gary's thought. AJ obviously running Vayner Sports. Excited to see how that works out. You're a pillar player over there for the Jets. Very quickly became the name brand for them. In the corner position is back to getting paid a lot of money at the top, which is where you are.
Yeah, and I would say the market isn't high enough yet compared to, like, pass rushers, wide receivers, et cetera. And kind of on that note, what's your thoughts about having or putting together some type of summit, for us? We got Lane Johnson coming on. They talk about the O-line summit, the sack summit they have that year in and year out. Tight end U has become a huge thing. I think I want to put you on the spot, but you're one of those guys, you going into 4, you become an OG, a vet in the league real quick.
Hold on. You think DBs, that many DBs in one place?
Yeah, need it.
Holy
so much
shit.
game.
The amount of shit being talked in that weekend would be, we're talking historic. We're talking historic. Do we need it, Sauce? Something to think about at least.
I definitely been wanting to be a part of something like that. I know guys like Quandre Diggs, Darius Slade, they've hit me up about it. I think even Richard Sherman then said something to me about it. I've always wanted to, like, do something like that because me personally, I'm not going to say cornerback is the most needed position because obviously you need a quarterback. Like you need pretty good quarterback play.
Yeah.
But I do think, and I'm not being biased, I do think cornerback is the hardest position to play.
Agreed.
So it's like, ain't nothing wrong with giving game to the other guys around you. Like, it's bigger than, like, the way I think, it's bigger than just me. You know, it's younger guys that come, and it's crazy that I'm saying this because, like, I'm still young. You know, I'm only year 4, but, like, you know, you got rookies that come in and, you know, they need some type of guidance, you know, as a person and, you know, how they need to be as a rookie, you know, so I've always been for that. I don't know why it haven't got done yet. I'm not gonna say it's my fault it hasn't got done.
It is.
I'm gonna blame it. I'm gonna blame it on Slay.
I'll pass it off.
Yeah,
OG.
it's his fault. So yeah, it's his fault. But I'm definitely for that. You know, and I definitely want that to happen as well.
Where's that happening at? I know you're from Detroit. South Florida's probably
It's a good spot. South Florida, LA is probably a good spot.
Yeah.
We'll figure. I'll make
We
you
can't
call.
do LA. We can't do LA because it's a little far. You know, we definitely can't do Detroit because you know, I'm not gonna say too much, but we can't do
Hell yeah.
we can't do Detroit at all, man.
Sound like South Florida.
It sounds like you guys got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, you and Darius Slade need to figure it out. That would be an epic weekend. Okay, and you said you understand that there has to be good quarterback play. Speaking of that, good friend of yours coming right down the pike. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, you'll be on the other sideline as Darius Slay week 1, but you'll also be on the other sideline as your friend Aaron Rodgers. How do you feel about playing Raji in week 1?
Man, it's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be a lot of emotions in that game. You know, he's a phenomenal. I don't care what people say about him. He's a phenomenal person. Like, you know, I remember when he first got to New York and we went to dinner and I just got to like pick his brain, you know, in terms of stuff as me as a football player, like tendencies that I could give to make him know if I'm playing man or zone or what I'm doing and stuff like that. And we got on the field, it's just so much that he's taught me as a player, you know, and me playing cornerback, I'm not thinking a quarterback can help me, you know? And I'm looking forward to it because it's like, he might think he know that, like, he might think he know all the tendencies that I have.
Oh,
but
you're
like
getting
this offseason has really been like me trying not to give nothing away. Like I've been like trying to work on literally everything because I already know I'm about to go against a Wizard week 1. You know what I'm saying? I already know it. I already know what time it is, and you know they got Slade, J. Ram, Jonnu Smith, DK, like they got some dogs over there. So Mike T, he definitely been cooking up, and you know I'm looking forward to the challenge because I always like challenges. But you know I know it's gonna be a good game. I know it's gonna be a lot of smiles out there, but it's gonna be a lot of competing out there at the same time.
You trying to out-wizard the wizard is a funny thing. Like, I'm not, hey, Aaron, just want to let you know I've been working on a lot of new shit this offseason. That's what you just said. He's going to hear what you just said. Yeah, you let him know. Hey, you think you know everything? Yeah, right. This offseason, 3 new different twists and turns. That's hilarious to think about. That team, though, Steelers, he's a diehard Steelers fan. They're going all in this year. First test, got Sauce Gardner and the Jets. Excited to watch how it goes. Excited for season to get started, man. You too? I don't know what off season's like for you. I know I think you're in a public relationship. Congratulations. We need to give you.
I'm not gonna say that. You know, I prefer to keep. Football is the main thing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to keep that the main thing. I don't want to. Okay. I don't want it to come off like I'm just in this public relationship and I'm just, because at the end of the day, football is my main focus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're allowed to do that, though. You know, you're allowed to be fully focused on being the greatest football player you can be, especially in New York, especially with the 5th year coming up on the other side. Have you enjoyed the off season at all? What have you? Has it been all work? What have you done?
Game.
Yeah, how's the golf game? I mean, everything.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really even golfed this off season. For real.
Gave it up.
You quit the game?
I'm not gonna say I quit, but I had to take some time back to really know what's going on in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to drop golf for a little bit. I had to focus even more on training, even though training is always like I would golf after I got done training. There was never like subbing one end for the other or nothing like that. You know, just focus on training. I traveled a little bit. I went to Paris.
Ooh, oui. Bonjour.
Germany. I think Italy too. I was just going. I was just going places. And yeah, it helped my mental to just be able to, travel the world and just do stuff like that.
Yeah, you worked your ass off, man. You worked your ass off to be able to experience that. You could have never fathomed, I assume. Well, I guess you probably did, actually. But just think of the story, Detroit, all the way to hanging out in Italy, having some pasta, enjoying your life, working your ass off for all of it. You should be incredibly proud. Let's get back to you in football, in the way you go about doing your business. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, so I was maybe try Ireland, also a great place over there.
Yeah, going to be boozing, though. You're going to have to do as the locals.
Going to be a lot of Guinea being sucked down for sure. What is your film study kind of process like? What are you looking for when it comes to getting ready for teams? Obviously with Aaron week 1, it'll be a little different because you're familiar with him, but what is that process like, and have you been able to watch film with Aaron Glenn, and has he been able to give you some more tricks of the trade per se?
Oh yeah, definitely. He always find ways to help me. That's why I appreciate him so much. In terms of watching like the Steelers or like somebody like Aaron, I can't really study Aaron for real, because he'll show you the same exact tendency and do something totally different. So in terms of the Steelers, I would preferably like study their OC, study the receivers, just study the tight ends and stuff like that, because you can't really get a beat on Aaron like that. And that go all the way back to when we played the Packers. Like, you got to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined playing against him, then it's not going to work. If you're the middle field safety and Aaron look to the left side and you go running to the left side, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just little things like that. Like, you have to be disciplined when you're playing against Aaron. And it's not just Aaron, but Aaron is like, I feel like he's the best when it comes to making you think one thing and doing something totally different. So I put hours in when it comes to watching tape. I always put hours in and just, make sure I'm learning something new every session.
I love that. Attention to detail. Aaron also will use up every second of that play clock, as you know. He's just waiting. You didn't show anything. God damn it. His timeouts at 1 second or half a second on the play clock, legendary. But the amount of information he's trying to get, I appreciate and respect the fact that you've been a teammate of his, and I assume he's giving you some of this game at dinners and stuff. It's like, let's not worry about Aaron. Okay, let's worry about our own shit.
I do miss him though. I do miss him. So I appreciate y'all for bringing him up. I do miss him. I can't lie.
He misses you too.
I miss his presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
miss his presence. We got a new dog. We got a new dog in town. We got Justin Fields. He a dog.
What are your thoughts on him? Big investment by the Jets in him to be your next quarterback. We obviously saw him with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw highlights from whenever he was with the Chicago Bears. What has it been like with him as the starting quarterback of the Jets?
Man, it's been great. Like, him being younger as well, like me being able to say certain things and him being able to say certain things about each of our games, and I could just tell he's been locked in terms of tape, like in terms of the playbook, in terms of everything. Like, he getting there early. You know what I'm saying? He getting to the facility early, being one of the last people to leave. Like, he really been dialed in, like trying to make those type of throws. Like, he made a few throws in OTAs that I'm like, yo, I did not know he was capable of making this throw, because it's only a certain amount of quarterbacks that can make. I'm talking about his throws on like Aaron's type of level. Like, when it comes to like being able to squeeze those throws in there, I always thought Aaron was like the best when it came to that. And it's like Justin had made a few throws where I'm like, okay, he really been in the lab for real. I could just tell. And he's always been a talented athlete. He's always been a talented quarterback. I just remember having to go against him and us changing the whole game plan. I remember we had to play the Steelers, and we didn't know if Justin was going to play or not and who was going to be the starter. We had to change the whole game plan for Justin, just for him to not even play that game, just for us to be the starter. So then we went back to the other game plan like the night before or something like that. So, I don't know what disrespect he received, but, in terms of the players and the teams, I feel like they always give him his respect that's needed,
Yeah, hell yeah. And he's faster than everybody on the field whenever he's running on the field. Seemingly, he looks that way at least. And the Jets made a big investment. I mean, $20 million a year. I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited to see what they do with them. And if you guys are a power team, power with him, and he's talking about in the lab throwing it. Look out, maybe that wide receiver goes ape shit this year. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, speaking of that wide receiver sauce, how beneficial has it been to be able to go up against a guy like Garrett Wilson every day at practice? Obviously, both you guys super young, but already some of the best at your position in the NFL. What have you guys done to kind of push each other every single day and kind of get to that next step in your careers?
Man, just picking each other's brain. You know, Garrett asked me, "Yo, what you see from me with this? How do you know I was gonna do this?" And me being like, "Yo, how did you know I was playing this instead of this?" Like stuff like that. Receiving that type of information is only gonna make us better, and that's things that don't really require talent. You know, the talent is different. Like the talent is there when it comes to Garrett. He like a human joystick. He at the top of his routes and even in his releases, like it's like he playing basketball out there. And you know, when you going against the guys like that, you know, it makes it a little harder to guard them, you know? And me being able to go up against him, when I go out there and play other guys that are a little bit stiffer than him, it just makes it much more easier. And, you know, not even just for Garrett, you know, we got a lot of other guys out there, you know, like Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds, he had a pretty good, like, camp, you know, and he just been doing his thing as well. Xavier Gibson. It's a lot of, like, younger guys out there that's been really, you know, making a name for themselves even more. You know, like, got a couple rookies out there that's been balling, you know, so I'm excited, man. I'm excited for our offense. I'm excited for our defense and our special teams.
All right, well, good luck this year. We can't wait to watch. Shout out to the Q caller, hopefully taking care of people. Shout out to Satoshi Nakamoto, too. His legacy will live on for a long time into the future. Yep. Yep. And are we hey, what are we doing with hair? Are you growing out?
I actually just got it clipped a little bit. It was getting a little too long, and I never want to be a guy that has to get braids. I don't think I would look good with braids. So, you know, for my shorty, I feel like this really the look.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like this really the look. You know, I had thoughts before getting like probably a little mullet, you know, a little while ago.
It's a good idea.
This was a while ago though, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, you know, I think I'm pretty good with this look right here. What do you think?
I think that looks good. I think it's a good look.
I think a mullet would look better.
Yeah,
bro.
mullet would be fucking awesome.
Let's see that Grok.
Yeah, what's that?
I want to see Grok make sauce with a mullet.
Yeah, you can you can see what this would look like. Grok would create all these things. Can you make Sauce Gardner with a mullet? They might give you like a Connor mullet on there.
Which also would work for you.
Something to think about. Maybe that whole thing. You look awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem. Good luck on everything. Obviously, contracts, huge thing that you've worked your entire life for. That's on its way. You keep kicking ass on the field, and in life, we'll just follow along and enjoy it all. You're the man, Sauce.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, Sauce.
I don't know. We got Grok's first take on it. I don't know. I don't think you should do this.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty sweet. I like it.
Sauce, I don't think you should do that, Sauce. I don't think that.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Shout out to Grok though for letting me see.
Yeah, shout out to Grok. All right, we'll see you, dude. Appreciate you, Sauce. All right.
That looks good.
As this hour wraps up, we will obviously prepare for the next hour. Awesome. Lane Johnson, 1:15. They have the O-line Mastermind Summit. Maybe a DB one comes up soon.
We'll make it happen.
And we've heard from Sauce. That is 100% Darius Slay's fault that it hasn't taken place yet. And then Bill Zito, general manager of the Panthers, will join us at the end of the hour. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change their life. We'll see you on the other side. There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands
of your skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time. Okay? Can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
we talk about Mana,
What can I say except you're welcome?
and we talk about Mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't have buried its guts, sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me, Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Mwah. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm gonna start saying like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous, it's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup. Sorry, Mike.
And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. What? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Big Sports Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Sports are awesome. We're lucky to talk about them every single day. Shout out to Sauce Gardner joining us in the first hour, and Nigel Seeley, a British lad who covers betting with Betting Weekly. Game, bet, match to talk about Wimbledon and everything that's going on. A couple American women names to look out for at Wimbledon as we go forward. Madison Keys, okay, dog. Okay, in the women's bracket, if we listen to Nigel, who's a Brit who follows tennis and bets on tennis religiously and has been at these Wimbledon games and matches and everything like that, he says about 20 women could win the women's side of Wimbledon. About 2 dudes can win the men's side of Wimbledon. So the women, I guess, are far more competitive. Also, when it comes to betting, you probably get some over on the women's side, even though a lot of the favorites have lost this year in the men's as well. And then Amanda Anisimova.
Yep.
Amanda Anisimova is an American who, when healthy, great. So there's a chance that America wins yet again. Coco Gauff won France. We also had an American win the other major that took place on the women's side.
Madison Keys.
Madison Keys, okay, she's already won it in Australia, I believe. So we won an Australia major, and then we won in France with Coco Gauff. Now Wimbledon, there's a chance Amanda Anisimova gives the American sweep in women's tennis, which is certainly something we should celebrate on this 4th of July.
Huge. Hell yeah.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, and a Ryder Cup winner, AJ Hawk. Hawker, it's hard to understand that British accent, I will say. We're speaking the same language, but are we? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we are, but I agree with you. When you had to follow up, say, not really sure what name you were saying there. But the crazy thing with Nigel's saying that people are turning up not fit to Wimbledon. This is the event. This is what we do.
Have you seen how these once again, Europe, beautiful place, a lot of history. Seems like you guys got a lot going on over there right now. Let's figure that out. But also feels like a beautiful place. Lucky that family comes from there, yada, yada. We know the history over there. The way we've seen them handle heat, I think is not good for their brand as a whole. Sure. Just if we're just speaking from a sports standpoint, we're not talking about maybe even humans as a whole over there. Them saying what's hot, like 87 degrees, they're talking about like, oh.
Which is crazy though, because they don't use air conditioning like we do. Like they live in that stuff too. Like they're in buildings with barely any air conditioning. It's blazing. It's just uncomfortable and terrible.
So stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know how.
Idiot.
There was a tweet.
Also, you can play any sport. When I'm sorry, I don't want to go on a rant here, but when you talk about not being able to play games like 2 years from now in certain sports that don't wear pads, like football players practice in Miami and do 2 and 3 days in full pads. Year after year, day after day after day, and stuff.
What you're referring to is a tweet that we saw in our group text that maybe people watching have no idea.
I have no idea.
This just got sent in 3 minutes ago. AJ saw this. I need to get this off my chest.
Don't go to rant.
The World Cup, there's been tweeted that the World Cup is going to be too hot over here in America.
2 years from now, no. How do we know 2 years from now or a year from now that it's going to be too hot on that day, so we're going to move it to a 9 a.m. kickoff?
With that being said, India, we do rest in peace. Yeah. Thank you, Darius. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. We need Donardo to give us the Doppler read on what it's going to be in the World Cup. But yeah, some of these temperatures are like 78 degrees. It's like
it's too hot.
Just played a World Cup in Qatar.
Yeah, it was 180.
Give it a rest, dude. I'm tired of it. Juventus had 10 guys that wanted to get subbed off. Pack your shit. Real Madrid took you home. Get out.
Okay, now that's a Canadian man right there. So he is used to colder temperatures as well. I guess Europe just doesn't experience this much heat.
It does, though. It gets
it's
hot
97 in Germany right now.
I've been there. It's been hot.
Look, Tony brought it up already.
Boozed up every time I've been over there.
Yeah.
I don't think I know exactly the temperature.
I've been to Barcelona and it was super hot.
I got a sunburn in March in London, right? Wasn't that? Was it sunburn?
Scotland even more so cold.
So what's the deal? They just got a super duper arenas. Every arena they play in has the incredible.
No, they're all outdoor.
I mean, yeah. Tony already brought it up. Two of the most pivotal moments in history. Who'd they call on? Yeah, usually these people need help.
I think
in this situation, it feels as though they're looking for someone to go over there and fix all their problems with the heat.
I mean, God bless America. Okay,
Always.
Happy birthday, America, and everything like that. We love Europe, but this whole heat thing that you guys are doing, it's like we get it, it's hot, but we're doing the sport, we're playing.
Yeah, we've been playing these sports for hundreds of years, thousands sometimes.
I do love AJ's first thought is, so you're telling me 3 days in football pads down South Miami, down South Florida.
You got fifth graders doing that, so.
Not anymore, I don't think.
Not 3 days, but they're out there in full pads going for 2 hours. It's not easy.
Yes, we would like to do that. Okay.
We're going to Europe.
We're pivoting away from Europe.
Okay.
And we are going to basketball.
Nice.
Okay.
Hold.
Okay.
Now we wait. What do you think this news is? What do you think breaking news is?
You said basketball.
Yeah.
What I thought it was Jim Cantori coming on talking weather.
Okay, so okay.
That
might be it.
Yeah, that'd be sick. If it's basketball, just given everything, I mean, it's not going to be Giannis, I don't think. I'm going to go Malik Beasley.
Okay.
LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron coming to the Pacers.
That'd be sick.
Holy shit. Is that about to happen?
Yep.
Oh, no, it did.
AJ, AJ, what is
LeBron to the Cavs. LeBron to the Cavs again.
Okay, I like that. That's a guy from Ohio.
Yeah.
This is a guy who lives half his life in Indiana. Yep. Let's get... Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, he is senior NBA insider for ESPN, Shams Charania. Shams, what Zito?
Pat, we have news. The New York Knicks are expected to land on two-time NBA head coach Mike Brown as the franchise's next head coach. And so the Knicks are set to hire Mike Brown. He's won He's won 2 NBA Coach of the Year awards. He's a 4-time champion as an assistant. I'm literally breaking this while I am on with you right now. And so Leon Rose, Knicks president, we know he interviewed a handful of candidates. Taylor Jenkins was in play as well. Micah Nori, the Minnesota Timberwolves assistant, Grizzlies assistant in play. So we have just tapped in here with you guys to announce Mike Brown is expected to be the next Knicks head coach. He's a 4-time champion. He's interviewed. He's also coached a ton of star players throughout his entire NBA coaching career.
Congrats to the Knicks and to Mike Brown. Obviously, the Knicks have gone through a draft and free agency and everything without a coach. That is obviously a storyline that people have been dunking on the Knicks for. You guys make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You have your best year you've had in a long time. You decide to fire your coach and seemingly have no plan on the other side of it. There was a lot of names that were getting thrown out there. There was some time that took place. Bringing in a champion and a guy that has had to lead a program before, I think is probably a good decision. I don't know how Knicks fans will react to this. Let's go to the back. Bruce Brown, Mike Brown, now head coach of the New York Knicks. How do you think New York faithful will feel about this?
Let's go. I'm fired up. I mean, a 2-time coach of the year coming in. I think his reputation might be a little bit down after, the ending in Sacramento. But from my perspective, Thibodeau came in with a bit of a damaged reputation, and he brought us to the Eastern Conference Finals and built us into a perennial contender moving forward.
Love the positivity, Shams. You can do your tweet. I saw you trying to do that while you're talking to us. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, Shams. That was incredible work out of you. The Knicks get a seasoned coach, a known name. I think that's a big deal whenever you're going to New York.
Yeah, for sure. For immediate respect when he walks into that locker room. And I don't know if you remember the video of Mike Brown. I believe he was the head coach of the Sacramento Kings at the time.
He's running in practice.
Yeah, he's going to get in the trenches in between the lines with the guys. He's going to run sprints, much like MC DC out there. But he brings an attitude. I know a defensive-minded coach, once again, just like Tibbs was. But it's going to be about how they buy into him and how the stars, play with them, starting with Jalen Brunson up there. Big body Brunson Burn, or whatever we want to call him. It always starts with your star players and keeping that. But Mike Brown, he brings that attitude, and he has that instant credibility. So this is good for Mike Brown landing on his feet.
Good for the Knicks just having a coach, AJ. That was getting a little bit ridiculous. It felt like, just as somebody that is not an NBA insider or NBA coverer, it was like the team in the biggest market in the Mecca with such a storied franchise has been not good for too long, and then they get into the storyline. We happen to be a part of it with the Indiana Pacers, and it's like Ben Stiller's out here, Timothy Chalamet's out here, Spike's out. It's good for all sports whenever the New York teams are good. And then we see what happens. They get good, and then they fire the coach. It's like, what are you guys doing, man? And then from outside looking in, they got no plan. Like, we're just going to ask every team if we can fucking treat them like a mid-major. We're going to hire their coach. Like, that is, hey, what's going on? Congratulations to your coach. The New York Knicks would now like to interview them to be our head coach. And 6 teams are like, no, that is not how this is going to go. So they obviously got mocked and ridiculed. It's like they finally get a head coach. Seems like that team is going to be good regardless. And maybe a new voice in there is the thing that takes him over the hump. Maybe it's Mike Brown.
Well, and the way it ended in Sacramento, to Bruce's point, completely valid, sure. But they also completely blew up that team. And if there was a franchise that hasn't won in a while that actually did turn it around, it's Sacramento. I don't think Sacramento's ever been good in my life, except for when Mike Brown was there. And you can go back to Bibby and Vlade and those boys too. But that was White Chocolate. That was a long time ago. And so for him, I think they were the 3 seed 2 or 3 years ago in the West. Yeah, and we've talked about how good the West is. So he's had success in the West. I feel like this is great for the Knicks. It is just kind of your point. He's had no say in any of the free agents or draft picks that they just did. So who knows if that means anything. But I assume there was some agreement like, hey, your style works here. Stick to your style, and let's go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'd be pumped. At least you got a dude who's proven it's not some, first you got no idea what's happening.
I think it's a big market. Obviously, anytime you coach anything in New York, Mike would be ready for that, AJ. He's no stranger to any of it.
No, he gets it, but also it's a great spot for Mike Brown. Usually when you get hired as a head coach, the team's garbage, and it's like a rebuild, or they're just terrible. So, no, we know the Knicks have a deep playoff run. Fire their coach unexpectedly, in my eyes. So, yeah, for Mike Brown, great situation. Hope we can go in there and win.
that Knicks. If Jalen Brunson's just going to make every shot that he takes, I mean, they're going to be good for a long time. You know, it's just watching them play. That was a cool moment. We need to go to more games because whenever you see these games live, there's a lot different conversation you want to have. Like, for instance, everybody is so tall. Kevin Durant.
And they all play so hard, too. It feels like they play very, very hard.
And they run so much. It's just gassers and gassers. Like, nobody talks about NBA guys' cardio. The cardio is never talked about. It's always like the travel, the sleep schedule, the body rest. It's like they got to be cardiovascularly fit, and they're very, very, very big. Yeah. They are all very large. Kevin Durant, LeBron, and Steve Nash had a great Mind the Game podcast. So many clips coming out of that. And they talked about how if you're 6'1", Kevin Durant basically was like, I don't know anymore. Like TJ McConnell's been able to make it because he's just absolute dirt dog out there on the offense and defensive side. There was a couple other guys he mentioned that could make it. He said, but with how tall everybody's getting right now, we just call you out, basically. He said on the defensive side, we're going to attack the 6 foot tall guy, and we're going to play over their head until they stop it, and then we kind of move on. That is watching the Knicks. Jalen, obviously another one of those guys, undersized, but obviously an absolute dog. It's like so big, run so much, and they seemingly made every shot. Now, the Pacers better, obviously. We won that series. No big deal, you know, that in your garden, Mike. That in your garden over there. But it's like that Knicks team's the real deal. Yeah. And Mike might be able to get them all online.
That'll be the biggest thing for them is some ball movement because Jalen Brunson is a dominant. He's a kind of an offensive savant when it comes to one-on-one, and it's more impressive because of how small he is and the type of big guys that he's doing it against. But you need that type of ball movement, and where Mike Brown won a bunch of those championships out in Golden State, that's what they do better than probably anybody. Steph is obviously, he has the handles, he does that, but Steph running through picks and just running around, so being able to have that ball movement, and then obviously at some point your superstar got to, you know, have court cleared out, make a big time shot, but ball movement, defense, and hopefully Mike Brown, like AJ said, you're walking into a pretty good situation with good players on the roster already, and hopefully you get that support to go out there and actually win in the, you know, what they call the mecca of basketball.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden was electrifying during that playoff series, let alone all the time. Mike Brown might be the one to lead them all the way.
Maybe.
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
Still got Dolan
we'll see what happens.
What, in the East? There's no Tatum, there's no Halliburton. Obviously, there's going to be good teams.
Yeah. There's a few. We'll see. West is still the West. But to your point about, you know, kind of the size thing, it's like if you go back to Isaiah Thomas. Like Isaiah Thomas was, you know, 5'9", 5'10", and he could score 30 points a game. But every single time when he was on the Celtics, the other team would come down and it would be, okay, let's move the ball. Who's Isaiah Thomas on? Go. Every single
you get marked. That's a tough spot to be, especially if you literally cannot defend it.
Yeah.
They did Steph too.
Yeah,
Steph's 6'4".
Kyrie, you know, like Trae Young is a perfect example. Trae Young, you know, probably 6'1", 6'2", and he can shoot it from 40 feet. So he's a super max player, but that's the only reason he's a super max player. On defense, it's just not the same.
I would highly recommend listening to LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steve Nash talk while they're boozing.
Yeah.
That was good.
Great conversation.
All the clips that I've seen have been incredible conversation. And it's like, I appreciate the fact that KD is not scared to, like, talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Or tweet.
Like, we're talking, or tweet. I mean, he just talked shit at some guy named Drew who's got 25 followers. I mean, it had to get it. Had to be done. Had to be done. That's a great show. I appreciate who is coming in there, having some wine and opening up and talking. It's like, I know that the sports journalists don't love athletes getting into the media world as much as we have and everything like that. But, like, getting a chance to learn from the greats about why they're great and how they're great and, like, the way they view it, I feel like that's a little bit of journalism in the sports world as well. That's a pretty good piece of information to have. And LeBron is going to get things out of Kevin Durant, and Steve Nash is going to get things out of Kevin Durant and ask questions that only motherfuckers at that level can really understand. It's great time right now of information that we're in.
Yeah, one of the things LeBron talked about with KD was efficiency and, like, how KD's shot over 50% from the field since 2012 or something absurd of that nature. And then he went into, like, the examples where after a game, you know, he'll look and, like, sometimes he'll be 6 of 18 or 9 of 23. And, you know, seeing how LeBron thinks about efficiency as being one of the most important things. When normally you go to the box score, SGA's got 40 points. And I'm not saying SGA would do this, but SGA's got 40 points, but he's 10 of 25, and I feel like as a not a professional basketball player, you see 40 points. That's awesome, even if they are 10 of 25 at whatever. But
the way they view it is 15 wasted possessions.
Exactly, like LeBron thinking of it more as I missed 12 shots, I made 6 shots, and the fact that KD has for 13 straight years or 11 straight years, whatever it is with the Achilles, has been 9 of 18 or better, damn near every single game. It's just
outrageous. And I've told the story numerous times because I think it's a good piece of information to have about Kevin Durant whenever you think about Kevin Durant, however you think about Kevin Durant. At Texas, he donated a shit ton of money back to the university he played. They built a practice facility. Obviously, he goes in there and works. There's been the same equipment manager, I guess, since he was playing there, is still there. Guy's been around. And he said Kevin Durant has these workouts where he will restart the entire shooting. We're talking like thousands of shots at this point. He'll restart if the swish isn't the right sound.
Mm-hmm. Lights are off.
Yeah. If it's not the right swish sound, he's restarting. It's like you're talking about an absolute dog when it comes to work ethic. When you talk about competitive juice and stamina. It's like, and I also love the fact he's not scared to get a little Twitter finger in there every once in a while. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a two-time Super Bowl champion. He's also an All-Pro. He's been named to like all-century teams, all-decade teams because of how damn good he is. And the refs are trying to catch whether or not he's leaving a little early or if he's right on time. Mm-hmm. In his eyes, he's right on time. And he's going to be telling other offensive linemen they need to be right on time as well at the 8th Annual O-Line Mastermind Summit happening July 10th through the 11th down in Frisco, Texas, alongside Duke Manyweather. Ladies and gentlemen, Lane Johnson.
Yeah, Lane.
How you doing, dude?
Doing good, man. Just got done with the workout, but ready to get online and get these fingers working about the fall starts that all the flags I should have got past season.
You're going to get your Kevin Durant on? Yeah, go ahead and answer a little bit. I love that became a full talking point. Obviously, you knew that. I think we've chatted about it a little bit. And they're zooming in on your big, I don't want to say, your massive cleat. And that's the blur. It's a blur every single time. And they're like, is he early or is it on time? Right on time every time, Lane. Let's talk about this O-Line Mastermind Summit that you've been doing. 8 years now of big boys talking about moving other men down there in Texas. What is expected from this weekend, and how excited do you get to share your game with others and maybe younger offensive linemen?
Super excited. So when we started this, we had around 27 people. Last year was around 300, but it started, I remember, going through the draft, didn't know much about the position or who was really good at it. So it was just a way to get everybody in the room. A lot of college level guys are in now to just learn ball. We have Joe Thomas coming in. So, I think I learned a lot about getting off the ball from him, Jason Peters. So, it's just, it's turned into a lot of fun, but a lot of Hall of Famers, and yeah, man, 2 days of just learning the game a little bit better.
So much beer. Go ahead, AJ.
So are you guys?
So much beer. I couldn't even, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. I couldn't even fathom an O-line summit, the amount of beer. Go ahead, AJ, sorry.
Well, yeah, I would assume you guys might have a beer sponsor. I know Tight End U has a beer sponsor. I don't know if you guys have that yet or not, Lane. If not, you guys can work on it. But other than film and like meeting and watching stuff and trying to explain things, how much stuff are you doing on the field and how much work can you get in? Because I instantly think of these like high school camps. I don't know if you've seen these clips where they're doing O-line, D-line one-on-one, and a D linemen are bull rushing dudes with no pads on, and I would lose my mind. I can't imagine how you feel watching that. Are you guys doing that? Are you guys getting any one-on-ones in out there? Man, it's fun to watch, but what we do, we watch a lot of film, break that down, and then we'll have breakout sessions. So where we're going on the field, and a lot of what we're talking about is about pre-snap alignment. What type of pass set are we trying to achieve here? If it's a run play, inside zone, outside zone, mostly just footwork. So a little bit of physical stuff, but a lot of it's just talking through kind of what we broke down in the film session. And then a lot of it's just kind of about structure and routine, how guys went about their week and stuff that they worked on. So it's really cool to see just different guys, different decades and kind of how they approach the game.
Learning just a schedule from somebody that's done it and at a high level and Mount Rushmore-like level is such a great piece of information to have as a young player, like how you can view it and what has been tried and true, what has worked for somebody else while you kind of script it for yourself. You know, there's a Hall of Fame game this month. The NFL season's right around the corner. D-Bud has a question for you, Lane.
Yeah, you had a short off season, when that you went and won that Super Bowl championship, going to year 13, I believe. How does the body feel, and what has changed with your preparation going into these seasons from the time you came into the league up until now?
Yeah, so it's about maintaining strength, but really, not neglecting mobility. As you see players age, they'll lose kind of their elasticity, their ability to generate force. So for me, I'm lifting heavy earlier in the week. Later in the week, it's kind of lighter weight for speed, and then the plyometrics and all that good stuff. So, man, it's just, I think just being consistent with it. And really, like after every season, you evaluate kind of where your body is and what you need to work on. So, every year is different. But, man, I'm feeling good. I made a statement. I feel better now, kind of in my mid-30s than what I did when I was 30. I was going through an ankle issue, so surgery. So, it takes a little bit to bounce back from that.
13 years in at offensive line, especially with the runs that you guys have had while you play football. Congratulations, dude. You big fuck. Yeah, legit. That is an outrageous feat. The amount of attention that you have to spend on your body to make it and continue to be able to operate. Your joints are screaming for help every single time you do everything. Now, Ty has a question for you, Lane.
Yeah, Lane, I don't know how much you guys paid attention to it in the locker room last year, but we talked about it all year long about how, no matter what you guys were doing early in the season and even at the midway point, Coach Sirianni was getting kind of shit on every network pretty much. Hey, this guy is one of the worst coaches in the NFL. He's just in a great situation. The Eagles win in spite of him, et cetera, et cetera. They always said, when it came to the playoffs, he was going to be the reason that you guys ultimately lost. And then obviously you fast forward, you win the Super Bowl. What kind of vindication did you notice from him? Obviously we saw him post game and he was just elated. He was incredible, telling guys, hey, let's run it back and all that kind of stuff. But what was kind of that whole situation like throughout the season and then obviously as you win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, when he's got emotional on the sidelines or screaming at guys, the good thing about it is we go and talk about it at the next team meeting after a game. But, I think for him, he's evolved as a head coach. He's kind of learning as he goes. But, what I do enjoy about Coach is that everybody's held accountable, whether it goes to the film room, if it's a bad play by the player, if it's a bad call by the coach, their name or number is up there. And then just anything that, goes, kind of out to the public, we address as a team. So some of those hard conversations that are difficult to have, we have them and we put it behind us. And really, I think it's probably one of Coach's best traits is, he's a great communicator.
Feels like you all rally around him. On the offensive side, first time, long time, I think you guys chose 150 more rushing plays than you did passing plays on the entire season, I think was the number. It's first time, long time that had been the case in the NFL, and especially a team that'll go on to win the Super Bowl. But you paid wide receivers. So whenever you talk about becoming a run-first, run-dominant team with Saquon, who's outrageous, I can't wait to ask you about him. But also you've paid wide receivers. There's a natural potential very big situation that could occur because the wide receivers understand that for the team this is what's good, but my job is to catch balls, and that's my legacy, and that's how much money I'm going to get paid, and that's how I'm remembered. And then whenever you guys win, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith were the ones that dumped the Gatorade on Sirianni. It's he had to manage that, I would assume, just in of itself, let alone everything else. Let's talk about the run game. So Saquon is just outrageous?
Yeah.
You guys
it's just...
Go ahead.
Yeah, what you're talking about, there's just a lot of avenues. We have so many star players, and, if we wanted to throw the ball 60 times a game, our receivers could have 2,000 yards. But we have a running back, that can get that on the ground. So I just think, what Saquon was able to bring to our offense made everything so much easier. When you have a running back that can do that, it sets up play action. And when they want to stop the run, you're going to have to play one-on-one with AJ and Devontae outside. So, first thing I noticed about Saquon is just he's a super good dude. So he made friends really quickly. He's I don't think he misses a day on the golf course. So if he's not in the facility, he's golfing with somebody. So yeah, that's his other passion. But
Yeah, I mean, it took me about 3 minutes in the Green Bay game to go, this is going to be a pretty fun year. Yeah, it was something, never thought he'd be on my team. He is now, so let's make the most of it. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it might have taken you 3 minutes. I think it might have taken him about 10 seconds to realize, this is going to be great over here, as opposed to what I got going on with your offensive line. I think if it was just yards before contact that he rushed for this year, he would have been like a top 10 rusher in the NFL as well. He was not touched for a long time with your guys' help in scheme and everything. And with his speed, he was able to just break everything. The amount of home run touchdowns that he had this year, historic, record-breaking. He was explosive on the ground. A team hasn't been like that, I don't know, maybe ever. I mean, maybe Y2J when Tennessee Titans had, but it was
Chris Johnson. Yeah. I think what made our O-line different was, man, I'm a pretty big dude, and I was the second smallest. So it goes from Cam, me, and then it was, Mekhi, Landon, and Jordan Mailata. I guess, whoever was eating the most that week weighed the most, but they're all 360, 70, 80 plus. So it's just, you don't have those kind of guys that come around that often. So, we just try to stay out of the way and don't get hurt.
Yeah, stay out of the way, don't get hurt, and move bodies in record-breaking fashion. On that note, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Lane, another guy that doesn't come around too often is a coach like Jeff Stoutland. Can you talk about him a little bit? Because, it feels like he is kind of turning into a legend. Everything, Jason Kelsey mentioned when he retired with Jeff and everything he's done for his career. And then, of course, you mentioned Mekhi. Mekhi Becton kind of ended up with the Eagles, and then Stoutland turns him into an all-pro right guard playing right next to you. Can you just talk about Stoutland, what he kind of means to the team, that O-line in general, and also please keep growing that beard out because it looks unbelievable right now.
Yeah, very stout. As that beard looks very stout, like stout.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to find barbers back here. Usually when I'm back up in Philly, I'll slide in the team's barber and just get a cheaper one. So
don't do it.
Smart.
Yeah, Coach Stout, man, it's we've been very fortunate to have him. He came in the same year as I did in 2013 from Alabama, but he kind of has the intensity of Al Pacino any given Sunday locker room speech. He kind of has that vibe. But, I think what makes him so great is that he realizes that people learn differently. So some people, guys on the team, really respond to walkthroughs as much as, sitting in the classroom. But he finds a way to keep it fun, engaging. And, I think what makes him so good as well is, any guy that's had to come in, a backup, we've had many play in past Super Bowls, but every guy that's stepped up is treated like a starter, and it doesn't matter where he is on the depth chart. Every guy is treated the same, and yeah, man, we have a lot of fun. Whenever we're in the room, and we work whenever we're out there on the field. So, but he is a character. If you ever get a chance, I think Hard Knocks might be coming in this season. So, I hope that they can hide that camera in there. I think that it will make some really good content.
Okay, so we got some Stoutland magic coming through Hard Knocks, and obviously your guys' offensive line and him obviously being spotlighted in a big way. And in such a big way that awards even get talked about. Tone Diggs has a question for you, Lane.
Yeah, Lane, obviously you won the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, but I'm not sure if you know this or not. You won one of the most prestigious awards in sports. AQ Shipley named you the best tackle of the year for the Trenchies last year.
Congratulations.
Hell yeah, Lane.
This was months ago.
Appreciate it. Hey, I want to get that trophy. Put it in the locker room. Put it somewhere. Put it in the gym.
Okay, we have it. Actually,
Yep.
we're waiting for the address to send it to. That is AQ Shipley at 390 pounds as a fullback, a leader of a wedge on the kickoff return, and a center and guard for the Arizona Cardinals. He actually would roll on his gut at the snap of the ball, and he was doing that tush push before everybody else. He was gnawing on ankles. So it's a real award, and we were waiting for an address. You won it for best tackle.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
you did. So congratulations on that. Just want to let you know.
Well earned. It was a hard fought. Hey, there's a lot of names out
But
there.
the NFL
You already know Dion was pissed. Dion Dawkins was not happy about it. There were some others, obviously.
The NFL stole that idea. Now there's the actual Protector of the Year award. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's taken them long enough to get something in the mix. Thankful for Dion for stepping up, but we have guys like Witt and Kels, of course, making statements and for the O-line community. So yeah, man, I think it's pretty cool, and man, I'm glad that it's finally a thing now. So shout out to Dion for getting it all started.
It's the clear Like, it is literally the clear indicator on who's going to win the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you have a bad offensive line, you're going to lose the game. Like that, you might win a couple games. I'm just talking, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
You are going to win the game with your offensive line. You guys proved that. I assume many other teams in the past have, but I think it was more talked about this year than ever. It matters. You guys matter. And it's a talent, brother. Not everybody can do it, obviously.
Yeah, and you know how it is when it comes to practice. You usually have the O-line, D-line doing their own thing, 7-on-7 specialists. So y'all kind of get in the mix a little bit. But, yeah, it's really two different games out there. But, I'm glad they're getting an award out now.
What is, have you been fishing? We've been hunting. What do we got going on this offseason? Growing a beard?
Yeah, growing a beard, man, taking the kids to jiu-jitsu, soccer, tumbling. So just a lot of daddy daycare around here. So
Are you jiu-jitsu?
I'm in Oklahoma City in off-season.
Are you jiu-jitsu?
No, I stay out. I don't want to get Rex Squandoed in there, so I kind of just hang out on the bleachers.
Smart. Way to get back to the game with this O-Line Mastermind Summit. Congrats on becoming a Super Bowl champion again, and we can't wait to watch you play this year, brother.
Thank you. I want to shout out Portillo's for sponsoring us there at Cosm for food. So, it's going to be an exciting one this year. I'm excited to get Joe and some of the guys out, so it'll be huge.
Portillo's down there at Cosm in Dallas. Hey, that Cosm's that sick, that awesome. And you're going to eat.
Screen?
And you eat Portillo's.
You got Italian beef sandwiches?
Is that, you're telling me that's the greatest coming together right there. That's O-Line Masterminds. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, we might have a little bit of some snow cones, some whiskey there too. So, just a huge party.
All right.
Bash.
Well, good luck. Enjoy it all. It's a lot of meat, a lot of booze, and a lot of information seemingly being tossed around from one big man to the next. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Famer, Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Lane. So much booze.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
So much.
They're just skipping beer, it sounds like.
I've had the opportunity, obviously, to hang out with multiple different offensive lines, because I, too, fancied myself a beer drinker. And they did at least. I don't know about nowadays. I don't know, because where beer is.
I hope so.
I think I would want my offensive line to do that in this day and age. I don't know if it's every offensive line. I think back in the day, my understanding, it was every offensive line was basically the same group of people. Pretty miserable bunch, kind of funny. Definitely love beer.
Like a secret society.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. They know. They all understand what it is. But boy, they used to house alcohol. I mean, it was going out with them would be like I think that would be the representative of the football team. So people would be like, don't end up at the rugby house or the hockey house.
The
wrestling house.
Ooh,
like each of those houses had different endings,
Yep.
and how it went. All we kind of understood what it was. For football, it's like, I think, good place to send if you want to just go with the offensive line. The offensive line will kind of do this. I couldn't even fathom an O-line mastermind summit with different generations of offensive linemen. Because when they get together, it becomes a thing. That has to be thousands of beers, I assume.
I saw, and he's probably going to do, I think it was Landon Dickerson ripping a top of a beer can off with his teeth and then just taking that down.
Yeah, the offensive linemen are just a little bit different, They're built different. Incredibly athletic, too, especially nowadays, because everybody's talking about the D lineman. You need 4 first-rounders on the D line, speed to get around the edge. You got a lot of one-on-ones out there. So it used to be like center guard, a little bit more unathletic but big, could move bodies, didn't really have the best feet. Now you got nose tackles, D tackles that are shaking. You have to be able to.
Jalen Carter.
Yeah, you kind of have to be able to. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. On that team. He's 370? 360?
He's massive.
And he can move and shake. Yeah. It's outrageous. The offensive line has to be good. And the Philadelphia Eagles had the best in the game, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about athleticism, like Lane played quarterback when he first got to college, right? Before he went to Oklahoma, he was still playing quarterback. Like, yeah, the guy's a freak athlete.
I think he can jump.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He went to Oklahoma as a quarterback?
Yeah, I think
so. He went to a community college.
Yeah.
And then,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
High school.
But he was like an all-state high school quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Athlete.
Yeah.
Those are guys you won't watch. And maybe you get ahead of schedule here and you buy some tickets to next NFL season.
That'd be smart.
We are in the same month as an NFL game. Now, is it an actual NFL game?
No.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the NFL uniforms will be on the field.
Bingo.
NFL game.
And you can bet on it.
And it's NFL bingo.
MCDC and Harbaugh, baby.
They're both there. They're coaching the teams.
Quarterbacks, we know.
Is David Blau
Trey Lance.
playing?
It's going to be Trey Lance versus who's your
Hendon Hooker,
Hendon Hooker.
hopefully.
Okay, we know these guys.
Maybe Kyle Allen.
Yeah, but they'll play, 10 snaps? Probably because we know who they are.
They probably won't play.
But anyways, Hendon Hooker probably not debuting in a Hall of Fame game.
I doubt it.
He's definitely playing.
Anyways, it's a Hall of Fame, though. We're celebrating the next class of Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
You can enjoy, obviously, the game, which we will be doing.
Certainly.
We will be there. Hey, we're going to be there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're going to be there. I think we're getting a real setup over there to kick off the entire NFL season. Why not buy some tickets? Let's go. Why not get $30 off the tickets at SeatGeek? Why not download SeatGeek and say, you know what, I have the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon readily available right now because they're a ticket buying platform that looks out for you, AJ. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
They think to themselves, how can we help our customers? Whether they're returning or new, we'd like to help these people. So what they do is they score each ticket 1 to 10. Okay, they give it a 1 to 10 score. What is that 1 to 10 scoring off of? Well, are you getting ripped off? Okay, is this way too expensive of a ticket on a secondary market? You could get a cheaper one somewhere else. Is the placement of this ticket absolute shite? Is this an absolute shitey ticket? They'll score you 1 to 10 on those types of things. If it's a red dot next to the ticket, it's like SeatGeek's telling you, yes, we are selling this ticket, but you can get a better ticket. Okay, you can definitely get a better. If it's a green dot next to it, it's like, hey, our research has told us it's a good price for the ticket that you're getting and should be a great experience. You'll never get catfished. Right now, you can get $30 off using code PAT. That's got to be the easiest promo code in the history.
Yeah.
PAT. $30 off any ticket. Now, there are some restrictions that apply. Connor, what are those?
Well, if a game is $20 to get a ticket, then you're not going to get $10 back. Okay, you're not getting paid from SeatGeek.
Yeah, I don't think you can use this on tickets that are less than $30, maybe less than $50. We're not 100% sure what the restrictions are, but we do know that you can't just use this as a line of credit.
Sure. Yeah, it might turn into like 30% instead of $30.
They have tickets to everything.
They do. Derby.
It's coming right up. Home Run Derby. Going to be incredible. Cannot wait for that.
Game tonight.
Big time game tonight. Huge game tonight.
Except it's sold out.
Yeah, soccer's happening tonight. Yeah, you got tickets to that. Comedy, music, festivals.
And they rank every ticket?
No, they don't rank. Yeah, they score every ticket. They don't rank them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I wonder if they do have, hey, this is the best ticket on our app right now.
I probably
That'd be
do.
cool.
Like
For what the
available.
event?
Yeah.
It's good.
Shout out to SeatGeek.
It's great.
It is great.
Shout out to U.S. men's national team, which you were talking about, game tonight.
Yeah, here we go.
They take on Guatemala in the Super Duper Cup. AJ, your thoughts on tonight's matchup?
Well, Nigel, the British gentleman earlier, made me worry a little bit. He said, we can't have a 2-2 tie to whoever they played last game, right?
Wow, that was
Did I
pretty
just hear
good.
an English man on the call?
Yeah.
Nigel back on the phone?
He took it like it wasn't a win for us. Like, yeah, we won in the shootout. Like, does that not count?
Yeah, it does. There's no overtime possibility. As soon as the game's over, they go right to penalties because that's basically how soccer should be, by the way.
Well, nobody really knows when the game is over either, other than one guy on the field. But yeah.
We got pretty.
Yeah,
good
it could be a lady too, obviously, but we know what you're saying in the entirety of it. Tonight, against Guatemala, what should we be looking for other than a way around Nigel's negative vibes? Host of the CONCAFA pod, Bubba Gumpino.
This should be an absolute shite kicking tonight. Guatemala shouldn't stand a chance, and I'd expect probably a snipe from Malik Tillman if I had to guess.
Okay, I like what you just said right there. Gumpy's never that positive about anything ever.
No.
Okay, so the fact that the United States are taking on Guatemala tonight and an opportunity to get to the finals of the
They better win by 10 or Gumpy's going to be in a real tough mood tomorrow.
I'm worried.
This place is sold out. Congrats. Let's
go, boys.
Let's not concede tonight.
No conceding.
Conceding.
If we concede, I'm going to lose my mind, man.
Are you going to watch, D-Butch?
Of course. I'm worried, though. I'm honestly worried because, to your point, I never hear Gump that positive about anything, so that can't work out.
No, it means he knows.
Sold out barn, dude. St. Louis.
Are you trying to get us to lose because Canada lost?
What are you talking about? I was wearing a USA tarp the other day.
Guatemala kind of parks the bus.
I've been on board.
Good. Yeah. Guatemala parks the bus?
They're a good side.
Don't worry.
They only beat Canada because they got a red card. Canada got a red card before.
No, they beat Canada
Tell
because
you
they
what.
parked the boost like there was no tomorrow.
Well, when they park the boost, you can look for a cagey affair.
Yeah.
And if tonight's a cagey affair, that's not good for soccer as a whole. And Ponch's boys don't want a cagey affair.
No,
and we attack.
A violent affair.
All these tournaments have been bangers every game. Last night, another banger. Dortmund, Monterrey, 2-1.
I guess even that 10-1 game was pretty cool, too.
That's the team. That's the team that did this. Let's stay inside. It's too hot out there. Dortmund.
Oh, yeah. We
Was
like
it
Dortmund. Now,
Borussia?
remember, Dortmund was nice to us.
They were nice to
They were
us.
very nice. They got us beers. They made you pay $100,000.
Yep,
And then they
exactly.
paid you back that night.
Yeah, it was actually AJ had to pay for the beers. It was 2 beers for like $58. But yeah, the Dortmund guys were great. They were great.
All right, so United States of America, tonight we ride.
Yeah.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's about to ride a dynasty, I guess, for the next 10 years. We got a chance to chat with him after they won their second Stanley Cup in 2 years. And then what he has done during free agency is somehow do something that isn't legal. We don't know what it is. We're not privy to the information. But somehow the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions have been able to sign their entire team until 2031. The man that did that, friend of the program, Yinzer, Bill Zito. Bill, hey, Bill, sweet glasses, first of all. I love what you're doing right now.
Can't see a thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I love that. You had to feel so good as this was all coming together. Every piece of the puzzle that was potentially out the door. Remember, we talked about TSN's top 5 free agents of the NHL offseason. 3 of them were Florida Panthers. Some of us who are maybe Pittsburgh Penguins fans or Boston Bruins fans or maybe any other team in the entire NHL were thinking, there's no way they're going to be able to keep this team together. A lot of greatness is going to be leaving Florida. Bill Zito is going to have to rebuild this thing. Instead, you get deals done with basically every star that was potentially out. You got MVPs back in the building, and you keep your core that has been so damn dominant over the last 3 years. How'd you get it done? And was this what you were expecting going in to offseason? I think you felt very optimistic when you chatted with us, but as it takes place, how does it kind of all unfold?
It's really the guys. It has very little to do with me. They wanted to stay. I think they appreciated each other. They appreciated the opportunity that they have. I do think that they appreciate all that the coaching staff and ownership does to allow us to try to do things the right way. But ultimately, they're staying because of them and because of their teammates. And that's really the only reason. And it does make you feel good to be able to have the privilege to be part of it.
Yeah, be a part of it, be a massive piece of kind of putting everybody in the same room and letting them deal with it. Empowering others is also a great display of leadership. And your team, I think, we talked to Gary Bettman the other day. I think every hockey person I talked to, the way your team plays hockey is one that I think all hockey people respect and appreciate as well. On that note, the way hockey people celebrate is also something we all appreciate and respect. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Bill, you just said it's because of the boys and what they wanted. How much did it help with negotiations that they were hammered the entire time and then they were just kept, and they
was good.
They just kept yelling, "I'm not fucking leaving." That helped.
No, it was great that they did it. And when you watched them, I think I wasn't there. I was like you guys, but they really enjoyed their time together. They enjoyed their celebration with the cup. And it is kind of a theme through our group. You can make fun of situations. You can make fun of yourself. I always talk about how kind everybody is to each other. Well, in tandem with that, it's a pretty sporty room and just lots of fun, lots of gags, dark humor, light humor, but don't take it too seriously. So it was great.
Pretty sporty room.
That's
a good way to describe a group.
I'm the victim of that sport.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Pretty frequently.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And that's the ones I know about.
Yeah, well, you're buying them dinner, though, on the road, and they're all eating together. It feels like that sporty room is what everybody is looking for in hockey. Go ahead, AJ.
Bill, have you talked to anybody or studied teams that have had the success that you have had, obviously, the 2 cups in 3 years, everything you're doing, too? How do you continue this? How do you keep it going? We know how difficult it is to, consistent success in professional sports is very, very difficult. Have you began to, I guess, look around hey, who can I talk to? What can I do to make sure we keep this thing the way we have it? We keep getting better?
Yeah, and I should actually probably reach out to you. So then after you win it in Green Bay, then how do you keep?
We didn't, unfortunately.
You weren't there when you won it?
I was there, but I'm saying we should have won 4. Like, that's what we had Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
We should have won a lot more.
So I talk to a lot of people in hockey, a lot of people across other sports, and just try to learn as much as I can. The biggest thing was more from the coaching level as to how to understand, I guess, what people call the hangover, if you will. And then at the same time, appreciate the fatigue level, maybe even the emotional fatigue, and then help the guys get back. With our group, we're so lucky we didn't have to do a whole lot, but our coaching staff is just outstanding. Patience is really important. And then strategically on the other side of the calendar is sort of doing those projections 1, 2, 3, 4 years out. If this happened, how could we address it? And some of those projections we don't have an answer for yet. Maybe 4 years away, maybe a couple maybes, but at least you start thinking about it. And that most of the time is enough to get it done.
Yeah, you got your core until 2030, it seems like, if all the reports on the internet are accurate. So you're going to be able to continue to hopefully just kind of add to your culture throughout the next few years of dominance. I think you guys are assuming or hoping for, at least going to put in the work to kind of continue to achieve the new CBA that's going to take place. How does that affect anything you were doing now? Is there anything in that's potentially going to unfold that affected how you kind of structure things now or how you did contracts? Or is that something you deal with whenever that becomes instituted, which Gary Bettman thinks is going to be relatively soon, which is a year ahead of time, which never happens in professional sports?
So there's a number of things, sort of technical things, contract-wise, that may or may not impact us. The season could go to 84 games. That's something that would obviously impact us. We started, maybe late in the season to address next season already. We've gone to the finals 3 years in a row. How tired are these guys going to be? What can we do? Well, maybe they're not. First of all, let's just not assume they are. 2, what could we do to sort of lessen the load physically and emotionally? We've already started to modify our training camp. We're going to do that differently. Examining the travel, nuts to bolts. So with the cap going up, that's going to help us. We're going to be right at the cap this year. It's going to be tight. But since, as you pointed out, our core's locked up to 2030, it will give us flexibility as we have more cap space to supplement and to help and to make additions to support that core.
And if you need to get rid of any of those guys, we're talking Bennett, Marshy, hell, Bob, you name it.
No.
You just send him right to Pittsburgh. No. Yeah, Chuck, you send him right to Pittsburgh, Bill. Okay, you do that. You go ahead and do that, okay? Obviously, a lot of success has to come, has to fulfill a lot of things that you've dreamt about throughout your entire life. Your team showing you love has to be another thing that you can't put words or a price tag on. Go ahead, D-Budge.
Yeah, Bill, I got to ask you, after the final game in the locker room, I know it's something that Panthers fans love to watch, probably just hockey fans in general, when that puck is handed out to someone in that locker room. Now, I don't know if you can confirm or deny, did you receive the final puck? I don't think I've seen it confirmed legitimately anywhere. And what was that moment like after winning it all once again?
I did receive the puck. I put it in the board, and it was surreal. And I still probably don't appreciate it. I was so shocked and so surprised that I don't even know what I said. Way to go! There was no poignant moment. You think about that. I'm going to say this and from the heart, and I think I just said, "Am I supposed to do this?" Like I was pretty rattled. But looking back on it, it was an honor and what a privilege to be with those guys. I don't know. I think it was the game before. They gave it to Vitek Vanasek, the backup goalie who didn't play. Last year we had one where Jona Gadjevic was away from the team, and he had twins. So he rejoined us in New York, and he didn't even see the boys. Like, he came in at 6:30 and just came to the rink, and we won it, and Nico Mikkola looked up, said, "Gad, you're player of the game," because he had just had the twins. If you see the social media on it, it's awesome. And the whole room erupts.
That's your
them.
team, dude. Yeah, that's your team. Watching the celebrations here, from the golf carts to the pools to the strawberry margaritas to the Dairy Queen, feels like they're all together and they want to be together. And families, too. We got a lot of kids playing with each other. I think they all live in the same area. It's like you've literally built a community down there. And the community's culture is we're going to win hockey games in an awesome way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Even on the ice, sorry to cut you off, even on the ice, once they won it, passing the cup around to the first-time winners, everybody get to touch it first, for their first time experiencing that. That just lets you know, that illustrates what type of team, what type of culture that they really have in there. So congratulations on receiving that final puck, man. Well deserved, and you've shown it with this offseason.
Hell yeah, Bill.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It was like the family thing. You can't overstate that. So I mean, even Marshy, no one knew what was going to happen, and his daughter's name's Ruru, might be the cutest human on earth. My kids are saying, "You have to get Ruru back, Dad. You have to get Ruru back." And then the next night, I don't know, maybe it was 2 nights after, and the boys had already gone a little bit, but they still had some in them. Matthew Tkachuk says, "Let's have a party with everybody and everybody's families, kids, everybody. Let's go." And it was awesome. We had so much fun.
That feels like that's every day for you guys down there. Hop on a golf cart, go to the golf course, hang out with each other. Let's go work our asses off at the rink so we can fight other people and beat them. It's like you guys have everything that every type of team is looking for, every business is looking for. Congratulations on keeping that, and enjoy the hell out of the offseason, Bill. You look awesome right now.
Thanks. Appreciate it very much.
You're glowing, brother. You're glowing. And also, congratulations on being the most super Italian in America, right? You won you won the most Italian, right, award?
I would like to win the most Italian award. That would be something.
But I think you did. You're getting honored, I think, at this golf.
No, that's the National Italian Invitational. That's a golf.
The Chuck one.
Golf outing out of Lake Geneva.
Yeah.
And they, I'm sure some Packers had won it, AJ. I don't know. But have you been to Lake Geneva?
Oh yeah, Lake Geneva's awesome. Yeah. I'm not Italian, but yeah, congrats.
Lombardi won one. Lombardi won one.
Lombardi, like a lot of big names, but it's a special place, and I'm just honored. And it's a great charity, and they raise money and have scholarships. It's wonderful.
Well, congrats on being named their most super Italian. And that's a big honor. Coach Pagano won that in years past. That's how we learned about the most Italian award. And we are pumped as hell for you to enjoy that and everything else that you've worked your ass off for. Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you.
Grazie, prego, Bill Zito. The most Italian. I think our show has the most Italian award winners to ever be broadcasted on it.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
2.
A lot of paisans of the program have won the most Italians.
That's the ultimate goal.
When's Steratore getting his? That's
He's
got to
have already.
Yeah. Oh, we got 4 of them.
I think we might see Gene Steratore in the near future.
That'd be awesome.
I'll tell you what, that is a mood lifter. As soon as Steratore walks into the room, boom, who's that guy? You want to know who it is? He's so good.
Yeah, the throwback NFL games are awesome, and then when he comes on to make a call, it's even better.
He also, there for a little bit, he was doing
I love that.
Yeah, just so casual. A lot of refs wondering what to do with your hands. Well, Steratore's got an answer. One of these times, I'm going to make sure this thing's on. That's first down.
First down.
Mm-hmm. That's first down.
He's the best.
We got a personal foul. We all saw it. 74, right over there. 15-yard penalty. First down. Gene Seratore's the man.
I also saw who he learned that from.
The Pittsburgh ref? The high school ref?
I'm assuming that guy was Italian.
Yeah. No.
For 200 years.
No?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, there he is right there, actually. You want to zoom in? There he is. That's the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League. Triple OG. First down. That's a hold. We saw it. First down. We got face mask, defense, number 16. That's Upper St. Clair, first down. Guy's the greatest.
The best.
I can't believe they tried to eliminate the Yinzer accent from, like, when people get out of Pittsburgh and they get into situations where more people can hear them, they immediately go, you got to fucking get that out of your voice, whatever that is. Sounds like you're just all saying one word and it's marbles in there. You need to get rid of that. It's like the Yinzer accent is the greatest, by far. Anything that is said is funny in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I never knew about it until coming out
lazy.
here. Didn't even know there was Pittsburgh accent.
Very lazy. And then if you just think about the human that's probably saying it, it's just so good.
Oh, my God. My D coordinator in college was Pittsburgh, and his favorite word was Don't be a jack off, all right? Don't be. Come on, jack off. Like he loved it. We all used it. You hear that shit a lot.
Do you think Bill Zito claims Pittsburgh? He should. We're definitely claiming him. I don't think he does.
He hasn't argued against it.
Sounds like he claims
His dad played for the Steelers.
Well,
the Duquesne Dudes.
Ironman or Superman.
The Duquesne Dudes.
All right, this terrible show ends now. We will continue digitally. Hopefully you'll join us back again tomorrow. Happy birthday, America. It's right around the corner. We'll see you then. Goodbye. That was very professional. That came up quickly there.
Yeah, it did.
It did, actually.
4 guests today. 5.
Yeah, moving.
Oh, yeah, the Shams bomb.
Shams bomb came in. Did you see that? We did some real, breaking news from the newsroom. And Shams is trying to get his tweet. He's trying to fire his tweet off while talking. Shams good at multitasking, obviously. That was a thing to watch him do that. New York Knicks get a head coach, AJ, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. Yeah, I mean, all I could think of when I heard Mike Brown was D-Button mention the video. Whenever he was trying to tell the guys how to run, how to get back on D or whatever it was, I knew, hey, that's our guy. We need that guy.
I do. All roads led to a notable, probably, right, for the Knicks?
Well, started that way. But
Yeah, I think it was kind of just scrambling. Hey, people know this guy. We probably won't get killed if we hire him. Let's go ahead and grab it. Because he was probably the 8th choice, realistically, going into the offseason. I mean, they went down.
But they would say that they were just casting a wide net.
For sure.
It's not in favor. We were just trying to interview as many people as possible. In the NFL, they interview 20, 30 people nowadays. That, 15, 20 people. But you know who's the leader in the clubhouse?
Yeah, because
we never knew who the leader in the clubhouse was for the Knicks because everybody was seemingly opting out of being the leader in the clubhouse.
Exactly. We only got to him because they requested all these other people and they said no. And it was okay, can't do him. They're like, well, shit. Mike Brown's available. Let's go get him. But even that, they brought in Dawn Staley too, and some of those other people Shams named. He is. I mean, he's got a track record, and he's a good coach. But I think you're being ignorant. And if you think they come out and say he's the guy who we wanted all along.
No, what? Maybe they did in the back of their mind. They're the universe will let us know if all these other guys we can't interview and Coach Dawn Staley. If he ends up being the one, it's the reason. And James Dolan could spin a web that's where he wanted at the beginning.
Yeah,
and he will.
Spins a lot of webs.
He can't.
It's weird that
he spins a lot of webs. That motherfucker does. That Sphere. I mean, how much we paid for one concert.
Yeah.
I couldn't even fathom.
Oh, my God.
What he's got going on.
And where's the other ones opening in Abu Dhabi or something?
I couldn't even fathom what that guy's got going on.
Yeah.
The amount of money.
I'm sure.
And then him being the direct one, being McAfee's not fucked. Yeah, right. I love it. I genuinely, I think people think that I'm talking shit when I say that. No. If I was the owner of a team and somebody from the other team had a speech or was a part of it, hey, can he come get the fuck out of it? You can sit in a suite if you want. You want to buy a suite? We'll get you. You're not going to be on the court. That's not representing us. I love that move out of that. I also appreciate that they did try to, as Bruce would put it, mid-major other NBA teams.
Yeah.
It's it was March Madness, and mid-major coach has a good run. All right, he's getting plucked to a bigger school. That's how Bruce was describing what the Knicks were doing. I think that's how Bruce was selling it to himself. But once I viewed it that way, I was oh, that's fucking hysterical, especially if Dolan was the one that was McAfee's not sitting courtside. If he's ask them if they want to congratulate their coach.
Coach in fucking Minnesota. Ask him if he wants to come coach in New York.
I love that. Just the thought of that. Now, this is no way a normal avenue to get a head coach at all. But I do appreciate that the Knicks just do shit their own way, seemingly.
The only way you get Jason Kidd is if Jason Kidd forces his way to the Knicks, and the only way to pique that interest is to go and ask the Mavericks, hey, can we talk to Jason Kidd? They say no. Then Jason Kidd can force his way out and come over. I don't think there was ever any expectation that those teams would grant an interview to their head coaches. I did think it was pretty funny to ask a bunch of them. But, I think it often gets overblown, what are the Knicks doing? They don't have a plan. They're doing a coaching search is what they were doing. They interviewed Mike Brown, 2-time coach of the year. They got their coach. They got a better, deeper bench and the same starting lineup, and we just got to use our bench and not blow a Game 1 lead in the Eastern Conference.
See, think about that. You guys doing a coaching search is the timing of your coaching search.
No doubt.
Was so late because your team made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is why people go why are we doing a coaching search?
But then the flip side of that is that Knicks fans should man, we've always sucked. We should just be happy with being good now. And I think it was clear in the Pacers series that Rick Carlisle, ran laps around Thibodeau, and Tibbs was forced to go to a deeper rotation, which he never did once in the regular season, meanwhile, Obi Toppin, who rotted away on our bench, is giving us 15 minutes of hell every single night, while Tibbs last season probably went to our GM, Leon Rose, and said, Obi Toppin, I can't play him. He's not good enough on defense.
Wow,
so
Tibbs.
all those combinations of things leads to them, moving on. And I'm pumped up about Jordan Clarkson, former sixth man of the year, coming off our bench now. And I think we're well positioned here.
I love that, Bruce. Yeah. Congrats, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce.
Hey, he's been awesome to this entire thing because at the beginning he's like every other Knicks fan when they fired Tibbs after this. Like, whoa, we got no plan when it's all happening. And then you could tell Bruce laid down at night and was like, what else are they supposed to do? And then starts going through it all. And he has done a full. Oh yeah, it is the full reversal. I think that is a genuine attitude out of him right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, everybody's seemingly forgetting about that. And with new voice in there and maybe new strategy that you guys ran into it 2 years in a row in the playoffs.
Yes.
Pacers, both years.
Yeah.
Now, the Pacers do that to a lot of teams. I think we're learning.
No
The
doubt.
Pacers took Oklahoma City, one of the most dominant teams in the history of the NBA, to a 7-game series because of how they play. But I respect the fact that you, as a Knicks fan, was at the point of like, the Knicks are fucking idiots. And now it's like, no, I'm with them. I think this is a good play. I think Dolan will appreciate that. And if the Knicks make another run, that's good for the NBA. And it's good for the Pacers as well, even though we don't have Tyrese.
Yeah, well, that's the thing for Mike Brown. And, like, the whole entire Knicks thing, they look so dumb because they didn't have a plan. And, like, I get the Mike Brown thing. If they fired Tibbs and hired Mike Brown the next day, that would be a different conversation. And if you look at the teams that did fire coaches or have in the past, they usually just hire an assistant. The Spurs, they just, hey, let's go to the assistant. Nuggets, assistant. Celtics, assistant. I think the assumption would have been that they had some other assistant coach in the Knicks organization that they loved and that they wanted to, make head coach immediately, and then they didn't. And then it took a few weeks, and then it was Mike Malone would be perfect. And then, Mike Malone either says no or doesn't want to do it. I think that was the big thing. But Mike Brown's now in a terrible situation because of the fact that it's like, hey, you're either the 2 seed because all these teams in the East suck, and we're the only team really coming back with everybody aside from the Cavs. So it should be the Cavs, Knicks, and then everybody else. And you guys better go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. And when you get there, you better win. Because if you don't, then, hey, Mike Brown, you just basically shit down your leg because this team's great.
First year in, he'll have excuses. Well, first year in the system.
That's what I'm saying.
But
He'll have excuses ready, don't worry.
There will be reasons. But I'm just saying, like, after experiencing the Knicks series with us, like, I understand that we are considered small market here in Indiana, and the 7-game finals was up 10% year over year whenever it comes to audience for the NBA and all that stuff. But it's like the New York effect is and I happen to be in their city for 2 of the biggest days and watching just buildings empty into streets to celebrate, like the scenes that the Knicks gave to New York City and to the sports world as a whole. It's like we would like the Knicks to be good.
Yeah, the NBA is 1,000 times better when, like, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics, the old school teams are good.
Just like hockey.
Just like hockey, exactly.
Gary Bettman told us a stat yesterday, 5 new teams in the playoffs every year for like the last 20 years or something. I forget what the number was. He said 5 new teams get in there. This year, none of the original 6 were in there. That's not good for hockey.
Yeah, no. First time Rangers, Penguins, and Bruins haven't been in the playoffs, I think, at the same time since like.
What's that, D-Bud?
I kind of like it.
It was an electric playoffs.
It was. Kind of like where hockey's going.
It's pretty good.
You need Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Earn it. Man, hand the shit out, earn it.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, yeah, I don't need the Rangers. I mean,
Pittsburgh started this whole Florida Panthers thing. You remember that?
What, let them in?
Lost
If
to
the
the
Penguins,
Blackhawks.
if the Penguins beat the Chicago Blackhawks
last game
2 years ago,
That was a good team, though.
the 3 years ago, the Bruins don't play the Panthers in the first round of the playoffs and lose. They play
That was the
Pittsburgh
greatest
Penguins.
regular season of all time you guys had.
Yeah, you could have just beat them in the first round. Though.
Brad Marchand, actually. There's a tweet going around like biggest butterfly moment in the history of hockey was
Breakaway?
Bruins up 3-1. Yeah, breakaway end of the game with the clock running out. Yeah,
Great save.
great. That's Bob, baby.
Yeah.
That is Bob.
You think Bill's going to send any of those guys to Pittsburgh? I tried to convince him.
I don't know. Is Trailer Park Boys shot out of Pittsburgh? think Bill might be a big fan.
What's that?
Had those were Bubbles glasses, right?
I've never seen that, but a man named Bubbles could have those glasses on in my mind.
Yeah.
Is that the same as Poopies? Who's Poopies?
Oh no, he is the Poopies of Trailer Park Boys.
Bill Zito did not deserve that.
There's a lot of people that didn't deserve a lot of today.
What do you mean?
I thought that Bubbles reference.
Nick's comment about Nigel was uncalled.
That was a kill shot.
It was not about Nigel.
It was. You said
It was about British people in general.
Yeah, but you said Nigel needs to stop.
I mean, it was 10 seconds after he got off the phone.
He had to have heard it. I
Still
mean,
watching.
Yeah.
Nigel's a great guy. He's great for the program.
We
He's
love
entertaining.
Nigel. I
He's
would like to-
informative. He's awesome.
and sometimes we'll say we love somebody and we don't mean it. Okay, I'm gonna give a little behind the curtain over here. Okay? Nigel is a guy we love. I mean, that is. We've talked to him a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
It is funny just to drop a British accent in the middle of our show.
Yeah.
It is, isn't
On 4th of July week.
Yeah. Literally.
Capitán 2-2 Costa Rica. What? We won that game.
I mean, Connor said he was chewing rocks. You're all right. What are we
He
talking?
was, man. I couldn't hear shit.
He's talking about the way it sounds. We need the captions under that. When are we going to get to the point of tech where I'll be able to read what he's saying to me live? You know?
We could have just put up like indescribable British bullshit.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help me.
No, I know, but
That
like,
doesn't help me. And it wasn't British bullshit.
No, I know. I could understand him. You know, I'm just saying. You know, that could help people out.
I mean, Amanda Anasanova,
Yeah.
that's a tough British accent.
Good, yeah.
I mean, that was tough for me to get. I didn't know if because you guys told me you said one name. I was like, oh my God, that's why. But they are naturally more funny than us, I think. The British accent is naturally funnier. Like, I think about Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais can and will say anything, and I think it's all just because of the accent, you know? And their ability to use words that we have kind of stigmatized
Yeah, big time.
is an interesting...
It's a weapon.
That is an interesting thing. That is an interesting thing over there. But shout out to England. Wimbledon's been electrifying because I don't know who any of these people are other than Joker, Alcaraz. I obviously know Madison Keys, new Coco Gauff.
Big Bo. Djokovic.
Terry Pagula, their daughter, Jessie Pagula.
Sinner.
Okay, so we know some of these people,
Yeah.
but a majority of these Wimbledon games, I'm looking up there, I don't know who it is, and I'm seeing a number that's low and a number that's high, and the high one's winning and in it. It's been, Wimbledon's been electrifying. Tennis is not something I'll ever be able to watch full time, but at these big tournaments, you know, you get 80,000 for a first round loss at this thing. It is fun to watch the intensity and the reaction. John Cena was over there in a full suit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. He's
He
always
had to be
suited.
so
up.
hot.
He was.
so
No,
hot.
he was.
He's an American. He's A-OK.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
He lived down in Florida, Tampa, for however long.
Long time.
Yeah, he's no air conditioning.
And in the military barracks, you think they got air conditioning
He was
in there?
awesome.
No.
Easy.
Yeah, he looks unbelievable. I assume he's sitting near the king or whatever.
Yeah.
Cena?
Yeah.
He killed Bin Laden.
Marine.
Easy.
Long time.
He was in a movie, a Marine. Yes, he was.
Well,
He didn't step on his yellow foot.
Oorah, I don't know if he made it down to Paris Island, but he was a Marine in a movie.
I thought he
Hair
was
looks good.
He killed Bin Laden.
His hair looks unbelievable. He looks unbelievable. He's really just batting at that. It seems like Cena's really doing.
Yeah, Peacemaker's coming out as well very soon.
There's another movie, too. I just saw a commercial
With
for it.
Idris
yeah,
Elba.
very soon. Yeah.
It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
on Air Force
he
One.
plays the president of the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be John Cena, for shoot, incredible at doing movies.
Yes.
Great actor. Legit great actor.
I agree. His context, his tone, just kind
He's
of
got
like
range.
Same
He's
with
got
Paul.
range that he shouldn't have, too. Athletes usually don't have range like he does, doing comedy and drama, all that stuff.
Don Batista, too.
Oh, he's really
Oh, yeah.
Willing
He's
to
all
take
in.
risks. Cena doesn't give a shit if he looks like
You're
an
right.
asshole or if he has to make fun of himself. Like I feel like that's a pretty big deal for a guy in his position.
he does things on a regular basis over there that like that's a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
It's like no, Cena's just fucking down for
yeah,
whatever.
he's self-deprecating.
Now we don't know.
Is he up? Did I say he's up for the next Bond?
You did not see that. That'd be sweet though.
But they say that about everything. Like Cena's willing to fucking do whatever. He did what a 4-minute dance routine of Peacemaker at the beginning of that thing with like all the. Cena is a fucking beast. He's an absolute beast. He's a machine. That guy. Go ahead.
I mean, he lived in China for a while, But with that being said,
What does that mean?
completely different land
Which?
and
that about?
language.
All right, if this goes in.
Oh.
Did you learn to speak it?
Hey, AJ.
Yeah, he can speak Mandarin.
AJ, he can't speak Mandarin.
Fluent.
AJ, 200 push-ups this morning on the.
Straight?
No.
Oh.
No, we did a couple sets there. Yeah, we did a couple sets there. It was your push-ups, though. The ones on the bench. You said that's the.
Oh, like a decline, kind of incline? Yeah.
Incline. I believe decline, my feet on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Incline would be hands on the bench.
Yeah.
Hands
So,
on-
like, oh, yeah, that's great, isn't it? Feels
Right?
good.
Yeah, it was really locked me up.
50 clips, 40?
Started at 50.
You can move your hands, too. Like, you can start with your hands in, go wide, close grip for your triceps, all that stuff. Yeah.
Great workout because you're also doing a plank, right? Because you got to hold the
You're
body
right.
up or whatever. I talked to Booker T about this whenever we did the boxing events, and he's so jacked. He's like 60, whatever, and he's just jacked.
He looks awesome.
He said he just does 200 push-ups a day or whatever. Every morning, starts his day, does 200 push-ups a day. I was like, you have no body fat. You're also like incredibly ripped. He's like, yeah, just the push-ups because you're doing planks there the whole time. So it's you're basically playing push-ups like the greatest workout of all time. I've started doing it. It is amazing. And then rowing, crew, that
machine,
the back.
It's good.
Like I'm doing a lot of workouts for a lot of parts of my body that I'm like almost tricking myself into doing here. You know, like the rowing is unbelievable. Back,
workout.
tricep, legs,
kind of cardio too.
arms, cardio. Like,
oh yeah.
I think the number one rower in America, recruit, is in Indiana.
Oh, really?
I think he's a senior in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't know if it's Brownsburg High School or maybe Carmel High School. I don't remember. His dad was at one of our shows for the NBA Finals. And he was like, hey, if you ever want to talk about rowing, the number one rower in the class of blah, blah, blah is my son. He's in Indianapolis, Indiana. And he trained out on Eagle Creek Reservoir over there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he is 6'5", maybe.
Yeah.
You got to be a big son of a bitch.
And I'm like so amazed that rowing is where he stayed because that guy.
Jimmy Graham's about to row to the Arctic Circle. That's starting here
Yeah, he
really
is.
soon, any day now.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're maniacs.
Yeah.
That's a hard fucking workout. I've been doing it. It's a great workout. It's a full body type situation. You know, they say swimming's full body, but you got to get in the water. It's like a hole. I got a hole in my eardrum. I don't really necessarily love it. And if I drown, I actually die. So you know, that's not a desirable workout for me. It hasn't been. I've tried it a couple times because I know how good it is for the joints and does the whole body. This rowing thing, I've really gotten into it. I've really enjoyed it. You put a song on too, a couple songs on, then you're just right on beat. Like you know, whenever they're yelling, it's like you kind of get lost in it. And then you get up and you're like, I can't fucking move my whole body. My workout.
Second cousin of mine won gold at the Olympics rowing.
Really?
Coaching.
A combo?
I think that Delaney. I think they actually, when he was rowing, he won silver or bronze. But then when he coached, they won gold. And I think he coached at UCLA. Maybe he is D1 coach now.
The fuck, it's hard.
What's it, Rap Sheet like All American?
Yeah, Rap Sheet won a gold, I thought, right?
But you saw how strapped he was when he was rowing.
Short and stout. Where do they put the short, swole guys at?
I don't know if in like the big races or in the one he was in.
I mean, I assume he was in the biggest race. He
was in all
Yeah, the short, swole guys. I think they
Did he just practice?
drown in the
No, he's
lake.
an All-American.
No, that is not.
These guys certainly aren't making it to the Olympics.
Yeah,
These dudes are huge. I think they're the rowing guys, volleyball guys, huge.
Yeah, the Winklevi. Remember them in the movie?
Yeah.
They're big
Oh,
rowers.
he's in the front.
tall.
He's huge.
They're kind of
Look
like
at
the
Ian.
swimmers.
That's a different human. That's not Ian.
That's Ian Rappaport right there in front with sunglasses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who? He likes to tape up his oar, obviously.
Yep.
Tapes that thing
Nice
up.
watch on, too. What's the watch?
Well, he's keeping time for everybody.
Exactly.
Flexing
22! Yeah, he's in there. You know how many seconds it's taking him?
Barking out.
That
man.
rap sheet the night before was up to some senile shit. I know for a fact.
What, senile?
Yeah,
Like forgetting he's doing it?
exactly.
If this goes in, Ian Rappaport was never senile.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe he did some senile shit though. Oh fuck! I wanted that so bad.
Bonoball.
Kainan?
Were you confused at it? Because he did actually row the entire Nile River one time.
Oh, that was good pass. All right, what's this for?
Tonight, USA.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's big.
USA, Guatemala. Semifinals of the CONCACAF, not to be confused with CONCAFA. the CONCACAF Gold Cup tonight. AJ, what's final score? USA, Guatemala.
8-0 U.S. wins.
Love that. That's basically what Gumpy was saying. Gumpy, who is one of the greatest footy handicappers on earth from the Hammer Dahn podcast and the CONCAFA pod. Gumpy?
3-0.
Tone?
3-1. We all know they will concede.
Oh, man.
They don't have to.
They won't concede again.
They won't concede again. Toxic Table at Boston Connor. Score tonight.
I'm going to go 0-0 penalties.
And then who wins?
Come on. With Freeze in there?
Okay, so we win in penalties, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, how many saves does Freeze have? In
5. Wait, that doesn't make sense. 4.
He has 4 out of how many?
Out of
4.
Out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't probably make it to the 5th, I'd assume, if he had 4 there.
No, because they score first. And then boom, 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 boom. It's 2-1.
Yeah, but that thing's over early unless are we not
2-1
scoring any of ours either?
Yeah, their goalie's standing on his head, too.
Yeah, exactly. Because they
it's a cagey penalty shot?
They park the boost. I'm just telling you what I read about. And then last shot, 2-1.
Freeze takes it?
Freeze saves it. We win. Everyone goes down. Freeze has his tongue out again. Like,
USA.
Yeah, exactly.
USA. Okay, Ty?
I'm going to say 4-0 us, and I also believe it's supposed to be pretty hot out there. Rumor has it Ponch is going to cut holes in his slacks and hang his nuts out all night.
Love that. That's what Ponch.
That's what he's
Butch
been doing.
Wants to do that with
Exactly.
this. That's what he wants us to. D. Butch, your predictions for tonight's USA Guatemala game?
Assless chaps.
Freeze is locked in. He's down. I think we win 5-0.
No conceding.
What city are
No
they in?
conceding.
St. Louis.
Home turf.
What's your prediction?
If this goes
too
to
hot?
USA.
Okay.
That's a good question.
I have USA. (4-2).
Okay.
Oh, they concede.
Again?
They did concede again.
Oh, never mind. Oh, international game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's an international game.
You're right.
What was I doing?
Well, hey, it's an honest mistake. Yeah, it makes sense. You know?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
International game.
Boom.
Boom. All right, so
4-2.
USA wins regardless, it seems.
Boom. We're good.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Enjoy the hell out of this summer. We appreciate you all for allowing us to do this for a living. Team on me. We're back tomorrow. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.